1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this one.
Yep, we just saw a little Menace going out. Jet Howard behind the wheel, Mercury 15, J3 from the Victorian Speedboat Club. It is a wing boat. And our sponsors are Nan, Pop, Dad and Ken. So new to racing.
Well, it's not them, it's their credit cards.
The credit card. It's always good. First race of the new boat. So very exciting. And it's our first season. And Little Menace, Jet Howard, is a student. So
yeah, half a season experience there by the look of it. So
yep.
Building on that.
So, yeah, you talk about the kids stepping up. One of the outstanding young kids over the last couple of years, Riley Bride, from the Bride Family Racing, made the move up to Formula 4 this year. And, of course, her brother is the Australian Formula 4 champion at the moment. I believe he's made the step up to Formula 2. So it's good
cool.
to see how the
Progressing.
family and they progress through the sport.
Yeah, and of course we've got Corey Marlin here today in the Sick Puppy.
Yep.
Got some magnificent merchandise as well, so go and see Corey Marlin, Troy Marlin and team to get the Sick Puppy merchandise in the 6 litres. Came through the juniors just like his father did, and his father obviously, Troy Marlin, driver of Madness, the Sick Puppy and Warlord, has won every championship possible, including the EC Griffith Cup, UIM World Champion, Displacement, World also record holder in straight line speed. So, yeah, the juniors are a magnificent category, bringing them through into the future.
Yeah, he's got a big pedigree, hasn't he? So that looks like Ivy Mack. She's first to go. Then she's a rival, Emerson Walker. And then that looks like
Emerson Walker in She's a Rival. We've got the crew's mum and dad, Eliza. She's got the 15 horsepower. It's a Thurger. So we've got a few different types of hulls out there. Major sponsors for She's a Rival is the Loan Market, Rival Marine, Ericsson Marine, and Mort Signs. So, yeah, it's going well, and she's out of Hazelwood in Victoria.
Yeah, some recent achievements. Sees them first in one of the heats there at Epiloc and third in the marathon at the GDBC. And of course, favourite course is the GDBC, and again 1 year of racing experience. So nice work there, Emerson.
Yeah, downtown Glen Maggie District Boat Club. So great place, and we'll be down there in a couple of weeks' time for the Lucas Oil's National Drivers Hydroplane Championship for Grand Prix hydroplanes.
So Reckless heading down into turn number 1 while our race leader is coming out of turn number 2. So a lot of work to do for Reckless. Just exiting turn number 1 at the moment as Ivy Mack brings the boat across the line.
I think Ivy's going to have to get a bigger trophy cabinet, mate. She's
well,
fire this weekend.
Yeah, she's very new to the sport. She's only been doing it 12 months, but started off in the J2, now up into the J3, and this is her first run this weekend in the J3.
Well, she's travelling at the moment, boys. She's going to need another compartment in the trailer to hauling some stuff home.
There's a Little Menace coming across the line. I think that was 3rd place. And behind Little Menace, that's Purple Cowling. She's a rival, I think that was Emerson Walker. And then we go back a long way now to Reckless. Although, look at the speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the handling.
About to pick that one for you, Vaughan. Look at the way that trimmed out nicely.
Oh, he just about went up and over there. John,
quick reflexes, though.
I might have been in your way there, but yeah, the boat was right up out of the water. As I said, they're very lightweight little boats, and a gust of wind at the wrong time. If the kid's sitting too far back, it'll blow the boat up and over, as we saw a while ago. But it's still Ivy Mack as she comes out of the final corner. Yellow flag. She's got one more lap to travel. Can she hang on and take the hat-trick? She's already done 2 from 2 this morning.
1 to travel after they cross our vantage point here with the yellow flag waving. I'll tell you what, this will be close, Vaughan. Very close indeed, guys.
Yeah, this boat in second. That's Emerson Walker in She's a Rival. Seems to have a little bit more speed in a straight line, but let's see whether Ivy can hang on here.
Another good battle down the field, a little further here by the look of it, Vaughan.
Yeah, Little Menace making a move up the inside. And has been able to get that position done. So Ivy sitting right back in the boat. You can see the front of the boat starting to porpoise. So she just move her body weight forward a bit and try and trim that boat out.
Let me tell you this, she's put a commanding lead over next rival.
Yeah,
it was a lot tighter than that going into that turn, I can tell you.
Yeah, I think she stretched the lead. She's obviously got good cornering speed, but it looks like she's a rival. And Emerson Walker, this is going to be another grandstand finish, I think, here, boys, because she's a rival is now starting to make moves. So that boat's definitely got some top-end speed. As Ivy keeps it down, she's got to come through here nice and smooth.
I reckon she's got this in the bag, you know, boys.
Emerson's run really wide and didn't look like it was on the power there. So I reckon we're going to see a hat-trick here from the Gold Coast Powerboat and Speedboat Club. I can see Mum and Granddad down there on the shore. Well done. Ivy Mack takes 3 from 3 as part of the Land Transport National Drivers' Championship for our juniors. Emerson Walker will come across the line in second, and she's a rival. And a Little Menace will take out third place.
Nice work to Ivy Mack at the front of the field.
Reckless.
Looks like the Reckless through.
Well done. As we keep saying, this is the future of our sport. So the more encouragement and opportunity we can give these young guys and girls, the better it will be. As we say good morning to Barney Patterson, our start boat in that beautifully presented barn dog built up there by Simon Isherwood. And he'll be competing this weekend at Lake Macquarie as part of the offshore power boats. But you have a look at the motor on the back of that, John. That is
400
a V10,
yeah.
400 horsepower Mercury on the back. And as you'll see, when it comes past, all you can hear is the hull slapping. That is a very quiet motor, a very efficient, one of the latest and greatest out of Mercury.
Yeah, good work. And don't worry, Barney will drive the pants off it.
He was telling me yesterday it's done 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, wow.
But probably capable of
more than that.
Yep. Well, while we wait for our next category to come out, which will be probably the J1s and the J2s, they'll combine them together. I can see Charlie's out there in Popeye, Little Fugitive, Little Liberty. And we'll take a very short break here at the Sunraysia Spectacular. We'll be back when the boats are just about hitting the water. Won't be too much longer. Stick around. Thanks for coming out to the Mildura Ski Club. Hope you're enjoying your Super Saturday of powerboat racing here at the Mildura Ski Club. Be right back.
All right, guys, we're down here with owner of Turn It Up, Mr. Scott Patterson. Scotty, tell us what's going on with Turn It Up, mate.
What's going on with Turn It Up? We are absolutely gifted to be at Mildura for this weekend's National Drivers' Championship final. Fantastic venue. The town's poured it on for us. Everything's pretty much aligning, and we're looking forward to racing tomorrow. I think I'm sure we qualified third fastest. Just got pipped by a couple of tenths of a second. Not bad for a small block Chev. And we're looking to just keep on putting the laps in tomorrow and make them count.
Speaking of small block Chevs, mate, how old's this motor?
Oh, it's over 20 years old, so it's Trevor Stanley's Beast from Agent Orange open deck boat back in the day. And it does have one little twist to it. It actually has Bad Influence's most winning blower bolted onto it, which is still only a 671, and 23-degree head. Pretty much
so I've got a couple out there, and this one is
in ski boats. Not big cube at all. I'm going to say, I think it's 372 or 376 cube, but we've had a ball. We actually love it, and Connor and I get a buzz that we're running a little small block against these big beasts of things, and guess what? We're right in the mix.
Right in the mix, and I tell you what, he loves making everyone look silly sometimes when he's doing his hot laps and kicks their bums.
He has got the hot laps down pat. It's like to sit there and think we've won it 2 years in a row at Yarrawonga. We're generally, if they run hot laps, we're first, second or third, and Yeah, he really does do a good job of doing that. It is about lapping. So people, when we race, we love passing boats. We love the whole competitive side. And a lot of people think it's drag boat racing. It's actually not. It's circuit boat racing, and lap times mean everything.
Most definitely is. So what's the game plan for tomorrow?
Game plan for tomorrow is pretty much, for me, if it's going to be, it's up to me. So I've got to make sure I give Connor something that doesn't have something.
JS Trans, Ace Automotive, D Woodley, Mum and Dad, of course, Land Transport. Thank you very much, Land Transport. The Hazelden Station. And major achievements. This is the second race meet for the Little Liberty with McKinley Land behind the wheel. Hometown is Victoria and also in grade 5. So just started out racing and second race. Super excited to be here at Mildura for the 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular. Got the 214 coming across the Little Liberty, as we were just saying, and it's that Little Fugitive as well, just coming across the line as they making their way down for lap number 1. Popeyes in this one. Yep. I couldn't pick it up as I went across. It's got a grey cow. Grey cow.
So everybody across the line now. That's the maroon. That's the Running Cool Revolution in maroon. Looks like our leader coming out of turn number 1 and makes her way up towards our start-finish line again. As we're just having a look at the boat ramp, and Scotty Cleaver looks like he's going to head out again in Supernova. And also that looks like it may be Brett Shepherd out there in Unleashed as well. So they will be heading out for a run, and Royce McIntyre as well. So first of our heat races coming up very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, here after our junior category. So the light knuckles just coming across the line. And light green, Little Liberty. McKinley Land in third place at the moment, jumping hell out of the water. Then we go back to Little Fugitive. Oh, Charlie getting the boat right out of the water. The little Maritimo Popeye. So he puts the foot straight back down again and keeps driving. So a little bit of determination there coming from Popeye and Charlie Chapp from the South Queensland Powerboat Club, trying to make up as many spots as he can as he runs around the outside. A Little Fugitive should be able to affect that move pretty well. Again, the boat jumping right out of the water. Now he settles it down. So next on the hit list will be the light blue boat of White Knuckles, with Charlie running still hard down the back straight. It looks like we've got a change in the lead now. Down there as they come, heads up now towards race control. Checkered flag on display. The Cool Runnings. Looks like he's got the win here as across the line. Jacob King in the 214 takes the win. The little purple boat of Mad Dog. Then the light blue, the green, and Charlie making a big run in the white. That was neck and neck for that position. We go back to the maroon of Running Cool, and Little Fugitive rounds out our field of juniors. 3 rounds of junior racing here today, and I think there's another 3 rounds coming up again tomorrow morning. So great exposure for our young kids this year in 2025, and continuing on for another 2 years thanks to Land Transport. That was the Land Transport National Drivers Championship for Formula Future, our future of powerboat racing. The black flag on display, and we will be heading into heat racing for the National Drivers Championship coming your way very, very shortly. We'll get a grid of who's out there. I can see Les Smith already in the water, Royce McIntyre in the water, Scotty Cleaver and Brett Shepherd unleashed. 4 boats in the water, so it looks like we're going to be running 4 wide down into turn number 1. That's going to be awesome, PC.
Oh, absolutely awesome. The Battery World National Drivers Championship. This is going to be awesome. Of course, we'd like to thank our sponsors this weekend. Our naming rights sponsor, GTS Freight Management, one of Australia's leading transport and logistic companies specialising in national freight forwarding and temperature-controlled deliveries. Established in Mildura in 1980, GTS operates a modern fleet and offers warehousing, supply chain solutions and a dedicated freight services to the beverage, food and the FMCG industry. So thank you very much to our naming rights sponsor this weekend, GTS Freight Management. Of course, our other sponsors this weekend, Baldwin Boats, family-owned marine manufacturer of over 40 years experience, building, servicing and high-performance boats, also based out of Mildura. So great to see the local companies getting on board. Baldwin Boats produces custom ski, race and houseboats and serves as a Mercury Marine dealer. The business contributes significantly to the Australian boating industry through engine servicing, marine parts and river recovery services. So thank you very much to the Baldwin Boats out here in Mildura. Mildura Rural City Council, of course, the Mayor was here this morning having a look through and loving the sport, the governing body of the Sunraysia region. So thanking them, 22,000 square kilometres to look after. The Gateway Mildura, the Gateway Tavern, hosted the show and shine last night. Vaughan, did you get out there and have a look?
I certainly did, mate. And once you get up and close and have a look at the presentation of all of these boats, it's just a sensational effort by every crew member and the drivers, the owners of the boats. Have really put on a great display out the front of the Gateway there last night. Looks like we had a few visitors come outside from the hotel itself, and of course people walking down the street. It was quite crowded there for a while, and as I said earlier, Paul, we had over 200 votes cast for the winner of the show and shine, and we'll get that information to you probably after our lunch today.
Beautiful, and of course the Transcool Transportable Buildings and Cool Rooms, we thank them very much. Designs and manufactures high quality transportable buildings and cool rooms for commercial, industrial and event use. Also based out of Mildura, Transcool's portable offices, accommodation, cabins and refrigerated units, providing on-support site infrastructure for major events nationwide. Medex Medical Services, providing specialist medical support, patient transport and event coverage across Australia. Their experienced doctors, paramedics and nurses deliver advanced medical care. We thank Medex and we hope we don't have to use Medex. That is for certain. And Custom Air Group, specialist in diesel-powered air conditioning systems and sleeper cab climate control for heavy vehicles. Their Australian-made systems provide efficient comfort without engine idling using Kubota engines and precision engineering components. So thank you to Custom Air Group for their support here of the 2025 Sunraysia Cup.
Yeah, certainly couldn't go racing without the generous support and assistance from all of our sponsors and supporting partners for this weekend. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sunraysia Spectacular for 2025. What you are about to see is the final round of the Battery World National Drivers' Champion here at the Mildura Ski Club. Our runners for heat number 1A on pole, Unleashed, driven by Brett out of 2 from Perth, Western Australia. Les Smith driving Mad Dog. Royce McIntyre in the purple and white Mayhem. And out of P4, Supernova with Scotty Cleaver. This has certainly been a revolution in powerboat racing the last couple of years. Our points leader coming into today, Tate Ramsey, and Lay It On. He will be out in the 3rd heat, I believe. And he has got it all to play with this weekend. Connor Patterson will be out in the 2nd heat, running in 2nd place at the moment. Blake Ramsey holding down 3rd place overall for 2025. And then Scotty Cleaver in the Supernova. Super important, guys. You've got to finish these heat races.
And of course, Supernova for Scotty Cleaver needs to make a mark today. Obviously, some issues yesterday meant that he was unable to really put some numbers on the board. But today, we've seen the boat in action out there this morning. It looks tight, and in typical Scott Cleaver form, very, very smooth and calculated in the way he drove that boat. The important part is, as we've just explained, Vaughan, you need the numbers today. So it'll be good to see that boat up and moving now in our first heat of our Unlimited Displacement National Drivers' Championship here in front of the Mildura Ski Club.
You know, and not to take anything away from Les Smith and the Mad Dog, but and the same for Brett Shepherd as well. This is the first round. This is the final round. So they could possibly take points away from our contenders as the weekend progresses. So that just throws another curveball into the equation. But if you're up there in the pit area, it's time to move down to the shore. This is the 2025 Battery World National Drivers' Championship, heat number 1A, coming your way very shortly here at the Mildura Ski Club.
Of course, just for the people that are new to the sport, we'll just run through. We've got the green flag is race ready. We've got a white flag on the start boat. When it drops, the pedals go down. It's a drag race to the first corner. We've got a caution flag, which is white with a red cross. Yellow flag is a lap to go. Of course, all our races this weekend are across three particular laps. A red flag would be if there's an accident. That's everybody needs to stop. Black flag is return to bank. So look out for those flags. We'll see them coming. And of course, the one that everybody wants, the checkered flag. That's the one the winner will take.
And the other piece we should make mention of as well, Paul, is the fact that we've got those buoys out there in the lead up to the turns that have the lights on them, which is a safety innovation to explain a couple of things as far as whether they're reds or the like. So a very safely governed sport. Looking good as we're ready for that first start, Vaughan.
Yep, Barney Patterson driving the Barnyard Dog makes its way down towards the circuit proper. Now they've been releasing them before this first turn, boy. Let's see what happens here. Brett Shepherd, Unleashed, Les Smith, Mad Dog, Royce McIntyre, and Scotty Cleaver. Into turn number 1 for the first time, and from pole 1, the guy that's been away from for some 18 months, Unleashed, and Brett Shepherd. From Western Australia in second place at the moment, but look out, because here comes Scotty Cleaver in the Supernova. Then we go back to Royce McIntyre.
Shepherd now leads them down the straightaway here in the front straight. It is a good run by the Unleashed machine as it gets really high. Cody across the top of the line. And Dog in the second position. With Chris Smith doing a good job. The Supernova with Royce McIntyre now in the third. With the 20 hits up in the fourth position. Royce McIntyre leading it, but it is Brett Shepherd all the way up the back straight at the moment. Oh, look at the spinner! The Supernova has gone up there. He's got to go it again, but he's had a full 360 spinner. But it's Brett Shepherd's gone.
Oh no, that now promotes Les Smith up into pole 1. P1, 1 lap to go here in Heat 1A for the National Drivers' Championship, brought to you by Factory World. All the way across the Nullarbor from Western Australia, Les Smith representing the WA Speedboat Club. Now that's promoted Royce McIntyre up into second position as he crosses the line. And then Scotty Cleaver able to get the boat back up and running again. Supernova will hang on for third. Then it's all Les Smith down the back straight for the last time. Caution lights on our lead-in, boys. And what a great run. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Winner, Heat 1 from Perth, Western Australia, Les Smith.
From Les Smith, all the way from Western Australia, ladies and gentlemen. He's taken the lead, unfortunately for Brett Shepherd in the Unleashed machine. But across the line now into second position is Royce McIntyre in the Mayhem, taking our second position. And a good recovery from Scott Cleaver in the Supernova to pick up the points. He is in fourth position on the points table, so any points he can get after a 360 spin is going to be a bonus to him today.
Mate, that was so important for Scotty to get that motor refired and continue to finish the race. Correct. You can't drop points in this National Drivers' Championship. It is just detrimental to your, not only your weekend, but for the championship.
And for the guys down the far end, that is certainly not the case for them. That is a terrible way to end what is first race today for them. But Scotty Cleaver, you're right, needed those points.
He certainly did, and unfortunately there for Brett Shepherd, both sounded strong like $1 million.
Sure did.
But unfortunately it just seemed to stop down there in turn number 2. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there with Brett Shepherd. Yep, Barney Patterson driving the Barnyard Dog makes its way down towards the circuit proper. Now they've been releasing them before this first turn, boy. Let's see what happens here. Brett Shepherd, Unleashed, Les Smith, Mad Dog, Royce McIntyre and Scotty Cleaver. Down into turn number 1 for the first time, and from pole 1, the guy that's been away from for some 18 months, Unleashed, and Brett Shepherd. From Western Australia in second place at the moment, but look out because here comes Scotty Cleaver in the Supernova. Then we go back to Royce McIntyre.
Shepherd now leads them down the straightaway here in the front straight. It is a good run by the Unleashed machine as it gets really high, goes from the starting line. One left down, Mad Dog in the second position. With Royce Smith doing a good job. The Supernova with Royce McIntyre now in the third. With the Mayhem up in the fourth position. Royce McIntyre leading it, but it is Brett Shepherd all the way up the back straight at the moment. Oh, we've got a spinner! The Supernova has gone up there. He's got to go it again, but he's had a full 360 spinner. But it's Brett Shepherd's gone!
Oh no, that now promotes Les Smith up into pole 1. P1, 1 lap to go here in Heat 1A for the National Drivers' Championship, brought to you by Factory World. All the way across the Nullarbor from Western Australia, Les Smith representing the WA Speedboat Club. Now that's promoted Royce McIntyre up into second position as he crosses the line. And then Scotty Cleaver able to get the boat back up and running again. Supernova will hang on for third. Then it's all Les Smith down the back straight for the last time. Caution lights on our lead-in, boys. And what a great run. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Winner, Heat 1 from Perth, Western Australia, Les Smith.
From Les Smith, all the way from Western Australia, ladies and gentlemen. He's taken the lead, unfortunately for Brett Shepherd in the Unleashed machine. But across the line now into second position is Royce McIntyre in the Mayhem, taking our second position. And a good recovery from Scott Cleaver in the Supernova to pick up the points. He is in fourth position on the point.
And I've actually seen suitcases all decked out with foam cutouts where the guys put them and correct. Lay them into suitcases. They are worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and of course they're your whole setup is you got gearbox set up, you got your propeller set up with sizing, pitch, etc. Then I know the guys have been playing around a lot this weekend with pulley sizes to get the RPMs through them. So there's a lot of science goes in towards how to get these things around the course in about 30 seconds.
And the RPMs that the propellers pull, the amount of stress that goes through the actual piece of steel, as we saw at the Yarrawonga round with Harrow's boat, it sheared the blades off the propeller.
Yeah, he's done a few, unfortunately. He's got a brand new herring from the States, and it held together at St. George's. It's fantastic. And it's expensive because they break, they do a lot of damage. They absolutely rip the bottom of the boat out into displacement. They can break the transom out in a hydroplane. You don't want them to, and they're constructed really well. The displacement guys have got some good choices around with their propellers, but you do find you've got the favourite, and even though you may have got the one and you've got the exact same dimensions, they don't always feel the same.
Because it's not just a matter of getting onto the CNC machine and having the computer carve its way through a block of aluminium or stainless steel in these cases. There's a lot of science that goes behind it. The actual diameter, the pitch of the blades, how many blades you've got. It's a very black art to match the water conditions with the performance of your own boat.
One of the things in this one is the through with Connor Patterson, a smaller displacement engine in that boat compared to the others in the Addicted and the Always Pumping.
Yeah,
383, I think it's.
What was it? 372. 372. It's very similar to what the sprint cars on the speedways used to use before they went up to the 410s. And of course, it's got a supercharger on it. It's a small, nimble Evercraft. It's an 18-footer where we've got Addicted with Mikey Johnson. He's gone from the pro setup where it had turbocharged V8. He's now gone to a blown boat after a long absence. And up at the Gold Coast round, Mikey Johnson was a standout for the weekend. Coming back, making his debut again for 2025. Had an outstanding run up there at the Gold Coast round a few months ago. A little bit average down there in Windsor. They had a few issues to deal with over the weekend, but he's pretty confident until yesterday when you said they've actually backed the boat onto the boat ramp and done a little bit of damage, but I'm sure the guys, they'll be able to work through that.
Yeah.
Then we've seen Dennis Pasala in Always Pumping. He's been out there this morning and that boat looks super quick. Brand new engine, brand new gearbox, everything's been thrown out, all new stuff being put in for this weekend, and unfortunately for the CBR boys and Odin, after all of their hard work getting parts sent up from Sydney yesterday, it looks like they're not going to start in Heat 1.
And that's a shame because it looked pretty solid this morning when they did manage to talk. But,
I bet that engine's been torn down overnight, heads off, pistons out, the whole lot. It's been a complete rebuild.
Yeah, we'll have to go and have a look because we did get the thumbs up, of course, when he came in. And he was pretty happy. But sometimes the driver gives you the thumbs up and then they might check the oil filter or something.
Yeah,
but,
they go and check the data and see something wrong. Or like you said, they cut open an oil filter and any particles of metal, whether it be bearings or...
and the colours give it away, whether it's a bearing, a bottom, top or other descriptives that come out of what they catch in it.
Certainly does. So they're down in the milling area at the moment. This is the Battery World National Drivers' Championship, heat number 1B, and it will be Connor Patterson in the little boat that can. It's a great little boat, and you'll see the different driving styles. You will see them on display this time. You have a look at Mikey Johnson. He's nice and smooth and fluent, keeps the RPM and the momentum up, where Connor will just throw the boat into the corner. You'll see a massive spray of water come off this yellow Evercraft, turn it up, and then we have Always Pumping. Dennis has been around a long time. He knows that boat back to front, and with all new equipment on board, he's certainly going to be in there. I can't pick a winner with this one. You'd have to say on yesterday's hot laps it would go to Connor Patterson as the favourite, but between Addicted and Always Pumping, it's going to be anybody's game.
Yeah, and of course, Turn It Up, Connor Patterson, sponsored by MSC Science, who also sponsors the weekend here at the 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular. So thanks to Scotty Patterson and the team at MSC Science sponsoring both the racing here this weekend and also Turn It Up.
Looking like they're on their way back now, boys. Very shortly we'll see the flag drop.
Barney Patterson bringing the barnyard dog back towards our start line. Heat 1B. Connor Patterson, Mikey Johnson, Dennis Pasala. White flag down, we are racing. A blip in the throttle there from Dennis Pasala, and that's allowed Mikey Johnson to run right around the outside of him and take over second place. But it's all the little 372 small block Chev. Turn it up. Connor Patterson out to position number 3.
End of the front right now. Connor's leading the way through. Mikey Johnson into second position, and then Victor with Dennis Pasala in the eyes pumping. Got a pretty good hose down in the corner number 1. Into second position. The eyes pumping, not standing so good. He did get a lot of water in the first lap.
Yeah, Mind to get the hose down there. It's definitely going to misfire, but no misfire for Connor Patterson at the moment as he flies now towards turn number 2. There's that big spray that he was talking about. Aggressively turns the boat into a corner. It just about submarines another way out. Oh, now it's dipping the diamond, jumping and jiving across the line. Yellow flag. And then we go back to Dennis Pasala, sticking it right up on the cab plate. Bow, high and proud out of the water in a very sick-sounding always pumping. And it's going to be Connor Patterson leading down into towards turn number 2 for the last time. Mikey Johnson, nothing he can do from back there. He's going to have to settle for second place. Ladies and gentlemen, as he comes out of the final corner, we'll turn it up, and Connor Patterson's going to take it up. Heat number 1B. That was actually the National Drivers' Championship of New Zealand. Michael Johnson comes across the line and takes second place, and then a long way back now to the ill-suffering Dennis Pasala in Always Pumping.
Still trying to get across the finish line as he's jumping it out there. He got pretty wet in the first corner. Dennis, he was holding it beautifully down the far line. He crosses the line into third position. Dennis Pasala in the Always Pumping. But it's fist pumping down here in front of us with Scotty Patterson. Fist pumping the team at Turn It Up. They're pretty happy with that first place. And as they sit second on the table, those first place points are vital to his campaign.
Yep, they certainly are, and we saw last year he got off to an absolute flyer in rounds 1 and rounds 2, and then it all went crashing down, and unfortunately a lot of DNFs, and that basically cost him a position and a position to be in for a win last year. They've learnt their lesson up there at Yarrawonga. They had some hull damage. He putted around at the back of the field just to clock those points up. He'd learnt that lesson from the previous year, and look, it's really made amends so far this year. It's been going really well for Scott and his son Connor behind the wheel of Turn It Up. So as they come back to the shore, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. He's got the hatch up. Connor Patterson takes Heat 1B from Mikey Johnson out of Yarrawonga, and Dennis Pasala in Always Pumping are your top 3.
Well, the smaller amount of cubes in that thing certainly was not Australia. That was a brilliant drive from that guy, let me tell you. Last corner, tight to the buoy, lined it up and just pinned it all the way through. What a brilliant drive for Connor Patterson.
And you can see the spray. It's different to the other boats. He really gets it right in tight up against those pins. And as I said, it just about submarines the front of the boat. He gets the front that low that it makes...
bow waves.
Yeah, it does. It makes a bow wave that comes back over. He washes the windscreen every time he goes into a corner. But it works for him. He's an aggressive driver, and you know, that just demonstrates. You can see the difference between himself and Mikey Johnson. Mikey's a lot smoother into the corner, applies the throttle at a graduated inclination, and he keeps the boat nice and settled. But Connor, it's all about aggression, and it's paying off for him in this one.
Well, the next group away looks like we've got to lay it on with Tate Ramsey, the B&R engines of Brett Nidri, and Titan with Dave Satterley. Down in the water at the moment, the Titan. Dave's in the water ready to go. B&R with Brett Nidri down there waiting.
And here comes Lay It On. I was getting a little bit worried then, PC. I didn't see Lay It On in the water. Of course, this is our current point score leader coming into this event. He's held the lead all year. He took the win at Gold Coast, took the win at Windsor, and looking to take 4 from 4. He's already won this championship twice. This is going to be a 3-time winner come tomorrow afternoon if things go well for the Ramsey family. They normally do. They are an expert professional team.
You probably just put the mods on him for.
I was going to say, the last time that happened.
commentator's curse doesn't work up here this weekend. It's on strike. But no, they're looking forward. This is a brand new deal for 2025 for Tate Ramsey. And he's been able to get his head around. Of course, he's jumped from an 18-footer, a smaller boat, to this 21-foot child's play. So that in its own right had the behavioural differences. He's got through those now. They've done the engine program and they're happy where they're sitting with the boat at the moment. Very confident, as you would be.
Well, trust me, Vaughan, that looked very solid yesterday. Looking to see it being exactly the same again today. This is going to be an epic ride between these three, between Tate Ramsey, Brett Nidri and Dave Satterley down there. This will be a cracker of a heat to watch, this one.
Yep.
This will be Heat 1C for our unlimited displacement and the National Drivers' Championship here this weekend. And this is only Saturday, guys. Saturday before we actually crank it all up and go again on Sunday. Mate, this is incredible.
Yes, and of course, Brett Nidri in the B&R engines. He actually does the engines for Tate Ramsey as well in the lay it on. So Brett's a pretty busy boy. He goes across the boats and also into the next heat, which will be Destiny, which is Blake Ramsey.
So a little bit of interstate rivalry here. It's the neighbours, the South Australians, represented by Dave Satterley out of the Adelaide Speedboat Club. B&R engines in Brett Nidri in the orange and white boat, and lay it on the white and black boat.
So we do have confirmation as well that a decision actually put in the fastest race time yesterday.
There you go.
But decision, unfortunately, was disqualified because he went to go from the bank, had a misfire, couldn't get it started, pulled it back to the bank, and history states that unfortunately that meant he was unable to actually maintain the time that he actually put in, just due to the rules of the National Drivers' Championship, which we've seen previously at Yarrawong with Mark Gauci in Immortal, where unfortunately he came back into the bank for safety reasons, went back out and was unable to locate that time. So that's why Decision, who did post the quickest time, is in heat number 4 and will start on the outside.
Right, yeah, okay, so that's the worst possible scenario. You've actually gone from P1 right to the back, and I think we've got 14 boats, so he's gone from P1
rear of field, right at
rear
the back end.
And a loss of points, which of course you do get points for going out, and the hot laps, that's why they're very important, not only for your pole positions, but you do gain points. So a bit of a double whammy there for Decision and Brent Lewis. But you know what? Pole 3, heat number 4, he'll still make up some good ground for
Absolutely.
So
and
those,
we were saying earlier, Vaughan, you know, the points are so important. When you're at the last round like this is the last face-off, okay? So you need what you can get, and unfortunately dropping them yesterday means that their focus is going to be to recover as much as they possibly can out of it.
So as we say, the point score so important. It starts at scrutineering. There are points given for passing scrutineering, but then as we saw yesterday, the pressure is really on here at the bottom of the boat ramp. If your boat doesn't fire, you are in all types of pain, as we saw yesterday with Decision and previously with Mark Gauci. Once you move away from the shore, that is it. You are in racing condition. And
you've got to deliver it, right?
Yeah, you've got to go on with it. This is so important to knock up points. And as we said, Connor Patterson, Yarrawonga, a few months ago, had some damage to the hull. He was able to circulate around at the back of the field
and grab points.
Near race points.
No,
nowhere near race
but grab them.
And that's what it was all about. So
Which we saw earlier with Scotty Cleaver with the Supernova, right? He continued to keep the boat fired and running and picked up the points at the back of the field. That's what you've got to do, right?
Yep, he certainly did. And I guess this new deal, and I was saying that Tate was coming to grips with this new boat. He had a flat spin at Yarrawonga at about probably 150 odd mile an hour and a big backwards sideways spin. Very lucky that the boat didn't roll. Did a little bit of damage, nothing too substantial, but he was back for the next round and continuing on his way.
Hey, great to have everybody watching live today. If you're not able to get down to the foreshore here at Mildura at the Mildura District Ski Club, if you're watching in from somewhere external, hope you're enjoying the coverage today. Remember, all of the great footage and the action being captured by the guys coming live to you from the Mildura District Ski Club as we line up for the next one. This is Heat 1C with Ramsey, Nidri and Satterley in the lay it on, the B&R engines and Titan. Guys, we are set to go with another hot one here at Mildura.
Yep, 3 forced induction boats making their way back towards our start-finish line. White flag down, and we are racing at the best of the start. Tate Ramsey, lay it on, two at the moment, down there in turn number 1, and it's Nidri really fast through the corner, but look at lay it on, just lays that power on, ever so gradually out of the corner, beautifully flat, drives it down the back straight, into turn number 2 for the first time, it's Tate Ramsey.
Yeah, down the front straight now, Tate Ramsey getting us a real good look at the boat, lay it on, oh, loose! Coming into third. Long way back. Brendage is up the inside here, trying to make some ground. There it is. Tate Ramsey from the lane on the street. Very well indeed. As he's heading. Series champion. Oh, he's slowing. Oh, he's not. He's just making sure he's getting in the turn there nicely. That is slowly in the tight into third position. But later.
Yeah, we see Tate Ramsey coming out of turn number 1. He is definitely slowing. Here comes Tate Ramsey in, lay it on as they go side by side, gunnel to gunnel into turn number 1 for the last time. It's Ramsey in on the outside, and there's definitely an issue on board. Lay it on as Nidri drives around the outside. There's definitely a handling problem with the lay it on. Brett Nidri's going to take this one out into turn number 2 for the last time. B&R Engines, Brett Nidri, former world record holder, comes out on turn number 2, really wide. Can do something about Nidri? I don't think so. Nidri will take the win here for B&R Engines. Tate Ramsey in, lay it on.
Oh, unfortunately, lay it on. He's obviously got some engine problems. So he's now coming across the line into second position. Had very mixed emotions there. He takes the win, he'd be stoked. But that is his customer that is leading the National Drivers' Championship, just crossing the line into second position, obviously having some engine difficulties, is the Tate Ramsey machine. So Brett Nidri, some mixed emotions out there for sure, but he will be stoked with his win here in Heat 1C of the Battery World National Drivers' Championship.
Well, guys, no one picked that one. No one picked that one coming left of field, and unfortunately for the Turn It On, Lay It On group, that was not what they wanted to see today. But let's just pick through what's occurred. So Brett Nidri in the B&R Engines picks up the win and grabs the points in that one, but certainly it'll be bittersweet victory for him.
Yeah, starting out of pole number 2 was Brett Nidri, and the best of the start went to Lay It On and Tate Ramsey as they went down into turn number 1 for the first time. And then as the race seemed to progress, I think it was about lap 2.
Yeah.
But halfway down the back straight on lap 2, and that's when it all started to go dreadfully wrong for Tate Ramsey. But in saying that, you know, Brett will forego himself. He'll sacrifice himself to go and get one of his customers back on board. That's just the type of guy that he is. But he's got the hatch open now, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. A former UIM world champion in Brett Nidri takes the win from Tate Ramsey for Durham Transport. And in second place, and in third place from South Australia, Dave Satterley.
The Lay It On, the B&R Engines and Titan, guys, we are set to go with another hot one here at Mildura.
Yep, 3 forced induction boats making their way back towards our start-finish line. White flag down, and we are racing at the best of the start. Tate Ramsey, Lay It On, going to lead the race. 2 at the moment, down there in turn number 1, and it's Nidri really fast through the corner, but look at Lay It On, just lays that power on, ever so gradually out of the corner, it's beautifully flat, drives it down the back straight, into turn number 2 for the first time, it's Tate Ramsey.
Yeah, down the front straight now, Tate Ramsey getting us a real good look at the boat, lay it on, oh, loose! That's one coming into third. Not sure what happened to that. Long way back. Brett Nugent's up the inside here, trying to make some ground. There it is. Taking Ramsey with the weight on the street very well indeed. As he's heading. Serious champion. Probably slowing. Oh, he's not. He's just making sure he's getting in the turn there nicely. Goes slowly in the tight in the third position. But later.
Yeah, we see Tate Ramsey coming out of turn number 1. He is definitely slowing. Here comes Leonard. Tate Ramsey in, lay it on as they go side by side. Gunnel to gunnel into turn number 1 for the last time. It's Ramsey in the on the outside, and there's definitely an issue on board. Lay it on as Nidri drives around the outside. There's definitely a handling problem with it. Lay it on. Brett Nidri's going to take this one out into turn number 2 for the last time. B&R Engines, Brett Nidri, former world record holder, comes out on turn number 2, really wide. Can do something about Nidri? I don't think so. Nidri will take the win here for B&R Engines. Tate Ramsey in, lay it on.
Oh, unfortunately, lay it on. He's obviously got some engine problems. So he's now coming across the line into third position. Had very mixed emotions there. He takes the win, he'd be stoked, but that is his customer that is leading the National Drivers' Championship, just crossing the line into second position, obviously having some engine difficulties, is the Tate Ramsey. If you are in the crowd today, don't forget to check out all the merchandise that's available. We've got the big merchandise caravan up the back there. That you get your hats, your t-shirts, stubby holders, everything up there. So please go and see the team up at the merchandising tent. And then, of course, all the teams themselves generally have some merchandise with them. I know Corey Marlin is very keen to keep the sick puppy merchandise out there, and a few of the other teams have got some as well. So when you're having a wander through, just ask the teams what they've got available to you, because it's great to wear the team shirts.
Just waiting now, I think, for the Brent Lewis boat, the decision.
Yeah, he's just up here.
I can see it on the top of the bank at the top of the slipway there, PC, so it shouldn't be long before we get that one in the water, because at the moment we have the Ravage boat of Brett Ramsey and the Destiny boat of Blake Ramsey sitting down there, so just waiting on the decision boat. And this is the boat yesterday that probably had the least of luck that we had out on water. But
yeah, fastest.
Guarantee you he'll change things today.
It was the fastest of everybody in the hot laps, but unfortunately had a series of problems that saw that actual lap time deleted. So it was very unfortunate, but Brent will be okay with it all and go out there and do his deal.
Look, it didn't surprise me to see him that far up the timing sheets yesterday, because up at the Gold Coast, his home water up there at Lake Dyer, he really took it up to the more established teams. He's only done 2 rounds at the Lake Dyer and then this weekend as well. So unfortunately won't probably feature in the final placings, but certainly a great effort. That is a Lewis family boat, an Image boat. 3 Image boats here this weekend. Of course, we've got Craig driving Image, and the sick puppy, the Marlin boat, for Corey Marlin. That is also one of the Lewis family Image boats. So and just another hull to go with the Evercrafts and also the Child's Play. They're the 2 most popular hulls. But it's great to see some other manufacturers getting involved in the National Drivers' Championship. And more good news over the last couple of months regarding the National Drivers' Championship too is that Battery World have extended their sponsorship, their naming rights sponsorship for this National Drivers' Championship. So they're obviously very happy with what they see as far as the professionalism and the exposure of the Battery World 2025 National Drivers' Championship.
Well, all boats are pointed in the right direction now, Vaughan, so I would say very shortly we'll see a start on each of them as they head off to gather up in the top part of the circuit before we head off. That beautiful Toyota engine you can hear gently purring as it heads away. It certainly will come back with its hair on fire very shortly. The Destiny boat away, just waiting for the decision boat now to crank away.
The Destiny running a 480 cubic inch big block Chev, as said, out of the Brett Nidri stable. The 2JZ, a straight 6-cylinder turbocharged engine.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the second of our 6-cylinder engines as far as the National Drivers' Championship. Unfortunately, we haven't seen Chris Hearn of late in Explicit, but that is running a 6-cylinder Ford Barra engine with a turbocharger on it as well. And that is a very quick boat when it's on its game. So it'll be good to see a head-to-head battle between Explicit for Ford and Ravage for Toyota go head-to-head.
Will be indeed, and of course, Blake Ramsey is in Destiny, and Brett Ramsey is in Ravage, but different Ramseys. So
no relation.
No relation.
Definitely no relation to
Spelt
those
differently,
guys.
unlike a Tate and Blake, who are brothers. So got a few Ramseys, but Ramsays.
Well, unfortunately, the fourth of the Ramseys, that was going to be Baxter, young Baxter. He was meant to be having a run this weekend, but unfortunately they've come into some issues, and I don't think he's here this weekend, unfortunately. Right. Second generation racer, son of Tate.
Yep, came through the juniors in the Reckless Machine. I think they had a bit of an engine hurt, so unfortunately couldn't make it this weekend.
That's a back pocket hurt.
Yeah, as it ever.
They're around the corner in the milling area at the moment, probably on the radios, just having a bit of a chat to their crew members back here, making sure that all the numbers line up with their performance window. As we said, lots of sensors on board, and the boats can shut themselves down if they sense something out of the ordinary, such as like a lack of oil pressure or something that's over temperature, over pressure. They will shut the boat down automatically.
And great to see the crowd starting to swell down here now for the running of our the second day now of our 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular. Everybody down on the foreshore area getting a good view of all of the fast action down here for a Saturday. Our supercharged Saturday for Sunraysia Spectacular, about to get underway shortly with the next heat. As you can see, all of the boats in the next one, which is Heat 1D of our Unlimited Displacement National Drivers' Championship, which is race 6 on the card today, ladies and gents, milling up in that area. And very shortly they'll be down, and there'll be lots of noise, and I'm sure everybody down on the bank are going to be enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying it on the telecast live, beaming out of the Mildura region for you here for our Sunraysia Spectacular this weekend.
That decision boat, an 18.4 image hull, running a 429 small block Chev, capable of around about 1,600 horsepower. So that is more usable than 2,000 horsepower. It's great to have all that horsepower, but can you put it to the water? Barney Patterson and the Barnyard Dog heading back towards the racetrack. This is going to be good. Destiny, Ravage, and Decision. And away we go racing, and it looks like down the outside. Toyota 2JZ behind at the moment. So Blake Ramsey on pole 1. Look at Brent Lewis around the outside. Ramsey trying to get that power to the water, and that's allowed Brent Lewis to take down 80 cubic inch big block. Just about gunnel to gunnel now through turn number 2 for the first time. They come out side by side. It's now Brent Lewis from Queensland.
Good race here now. Looks like the Ravage has gone for half a spinner, but we'll keep the action up the front here now. With Brent Lewis in the decision machine, just holding out. The Destiny in the middle as they head up the back straight. Brent's just pushed out the lead by a little bit there as they're holding in tight to the boys. The Ravage machine has got underway again with Brent Ramsey on the wheel. And it is now on this front. Destiny, the Ravage is up the back straight now, but he's going at tap. So it looks like Brent Lewis is going on from his form from yesterday. Heads up the back straight without a 4-8 length lead. Ava Destiny as they head down now. Out. Almost about to lap the Ravage. It is into the final corner now. It is the decision. He lines up, looks for the checkered flag. Blake Ramsey getting very loose, but here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Ramsey in the Destiny.
Great win there for Brent Lewis out of Queensland, driving Decision. The 429 cubic inch small block Chev. He has done the business over Blake Ramsey driving Destiny out of Geelong here in Victoria. And then Brett Ramsey takes out third place, 1 lap behind in the 2JZ Ravage. But definitely looks like maybe some handling issues on board Destiny. Just looked like Blake couldn't get the power down. Every time he did put the power down and feed the slipper into it, it wanted to pulse itself out of the water, and did get out of the water on quite a few occasions on the exits.
Well, amazing drive, and we were talking earlier about how Brent Lewis wasn't going to let yesterday phase him, how he'd press on and do what he needed to do. That's a really good example of that. True racer at heart, and as we said, you know, top end of the field, probably not for the weekend, but certainly in this one, showed them with a very clean pair of heels and made the decision boat do what it needed to do. So wonderful drive.
And what makes it even more special is that is a family built boat, and you know, to put all your heart and soul into designing the boat, manufacturing the boat, and then to start having the results, that's an awesome feeling for the Lewis family. So well done. It's 1-1 so far, a fight back after being disqualified during our hot laps yesterday.
They look very happy down there, Vaughan. Have a look at them.
Yeah. As we see Blake coming in from Geelong here in Victoria, and Brett Ramsey as well, just limping in the Toyota JZ. So they'll go back and have a look at the data and see what was going on with that boat, but it certainly seemed to lay over heading back towards the racetrack. This is going to be good. Destiny, Ravage, and Decision, and away we go racing, and it looks like Blake, and down the outside, Toyota 2JZ behind at the moment. So Blake Ramsey on pole 1. Look at Brent Lewis around the outside. Ramsey trying to get that power to the water, and that's allowed Brent Lewis to take out 180 cubic inch big block. Just about gunnel to gunnel now through turn number 2 for the first time. They come out side by side. It's now Brent Lewis from Queensland. It's going to be Blake Ramsey.
Good race here now. Looks like the Ravage has gone for half a spin around, but we'll keep the action up the front here now. With Brent Lewis in the decision machine, just holding out. The Destiny in the middle as they have the back straight. Very close racing now between Blake Ramsey and Brent Lewis in the decision. Brent's just pushed out the lead by a little bit there as they're holding in tight to the boys. The Ravage machine has got underway again with Brent Ramsey behind the wheel. And it is now in front. Destiny, the Ravage is up the back straight now, but he's going at tap. So it looks like Brent Lewis is going on from his form from yesterday. Heads up the back straight without a 4-boat length lead over Destiny. As they head down now, Dylan breaks out. The ticket's coming almost about to lap the Ravage. It is into the final corner now. It is the decision. He lines up, looks for the checkered flag. Blake Ramsey getting very loose, but here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Blake Ramsey in the Destiny.
We've seen this before, and this is not what you want. Let's just hope that everything fires and runs the way it needs to run out there for him.
There we go. Put the slipper into it and away it goes. Just taking a while to crank over there. It didn't seem to want to ignite once it got off the starter motor.
You know what? If it doesn't, you just keep going. That's what you got to do.
Definitely. This one's going to be a ripper, guys. Mike Godsall, top qualifier yesterday.
Yep.
Then Moonshine.
Yeah.
Then we've got Cutcat, Steve Rumble, running a Toyota racing development engine out of the Toyota Camry NASCAR out of America. We've got Mick McCardle, who we've just seen in Hombre, having a few engine issues. Then we've got Excalibur, Chris Dinan, and Justin McLeish in Tantrum.
Yeah, it should be a solid 5-way run out for Heat 2A in our X100 class for our National Drivers' Championship here this weekend.
We better just explain that we will call them as they go across the line, first, second and third, but these positions are not final until they come back in and they download their GPS tracking system. This is called the X100 because 100 miles an hour is the limit. If you go 100.1 miles an hour, you're DQ'd and game over.
You exceed the cap and you get caught with it, and that's not what you want.
And we
saw a
have seen
couple
it
of
over the weekend already.
Yes,
Yeah,
we had a couple of examples yesterday, so I'm sure they're very aware of it today. They're not going to create the same potential.
And we've seen it from some of the guys that are actually in the middle of the pack, because it's not about your overall lap time is super important, but some of the guys I was talking to, Mike Godsall from Moonshine yesterday, who was the quickest, he said he didn't even go near 100 miles an hour. It's just that he was super smooth around the corner, got the power down, whereas some of the other guys were a bit looser, and they ended up using more top end speed to actually get their time in. Whereas it's all about the consistency, getting the power down, being smooth around the course to make sure you don't exceed the 100.
And as we said, PC, we've got 3 categories: 105 mile an hour, 95 mile an hour, and 85.
Yeah.
So some guys have got to increase the performance. Some guys need to detune that performance. As we see them coming towards our start-finish line, Moonshine on pole position. Alongside him, Stevie Rumble in the Cut Cat, Mick McArdle in Hombre, Chris Dinan in Excalibur, and right out alongside the shoreline is Tantrum and Justin McLeish. Let's listen to some X100 power.
They can start now by the Cut Cat with the Artemis in there. Hombre's going to start. The Dyson on the outside. He's provisional yesterday, so he's on the outside today as well. But it's Moonshine. Mike Godsall's just snuck into the lead as he held out that pole position from the Steve Ramble in the Cut Cat. This cockpit boat there into second place. Up in third place, it looks like the Tantrum's now taken over. Justin McLeish from the Hombre with Mick McCarty in behind the wheel. So they're down now to finish lap number 1. It looks like a good run for Mike Godsall in the Moonshine.
He's out to a commanding lead now, a good 150 metres. Moonshine over Steve Rumble in Cut Cat Racing. Then a great run down the outside now for Justin McLeish in Tantrum and Mick McArdle in Hombre, and Chris Dinan down the outside in the flat bottom boat as he comes out in 5th place. Oh, Steve Rumble just about tips it right on the starboard gunnel on the exit of turn number 1, as they're down in there. But look at the lead from Mike Godsall, doing a great job for Moonshine Racing. Then we go back to Steve Rumble and Mick McArdle.
Yeah, Mike Godsall now, he'll see yellow flag, a while left to go, just as he was doing yesterday. He's doing it all out in front. Stevie Rumble's coming through now in the Cut Racing. Nicely presented boat with itself. Tantrum comes across the line now into 3rd position with Justin McLeish. The Hombre, Mick McCarty on the inside. And it is Chris Dinan in Excalibur into last position here, rounding out the field. But they are now heading down. Mike Godsall, the Moonshine Racing. He's going to make it 2 wins from 2 events this weekend in the Tattoos R Us X100 National Drivers Championship. Well done to Mike Godsall, 1st place in the X100. We're going to look back down at Stevie Rumble. He's fallen back a little bit to Cut Cat Racing. But it is now a race for 3rd position between the Hombre and the Tantrum. But it looks like the Hombre is now going to come through with Mick McArdle into 3rd position, followed by the Tantrum, Justin McLeish, and Chris Dinan will round out the field in the Excalibur.
Yeah, Chris Dinan just coming across the line now. Long way off the pace compared to the other X100s, but he's probably running a 95 mile an hour category boat and try to step it up to that 100 miles an hour or 99.9 miles an hour. But out of Victoria, top qualifier, 2 from 2 yesterday, and it looks like he's going to carry on with it again today on your Super Saturday here at the Sunraysia Spectacular. Your winner coming in right now, Mike Godsall. Stevie Rumble in the Toyota Racing Development V8. He will come into 2nd place, and Mick McArdle. We're going to take a very short break. We'll be back with heat number 1B for the Tattoos R Us National Drivers Championship here at the Sunraysia Spectacular. Stick around, lots more to come. the shoreline is Tantrum and Justin McLeish. Let's listen to some X100 power.
They can start now by the cut cat with Stephen Rumbley's in there. Hombre's got a good start. That Tantrum with the Dyson on the outside. He's provisional yesterday, so he's on the outside today as well. But it's Moonshine. Mike Godsel's just snuck into the lead as he held out that pole position from the Steve Ramble in the cut cat. This cockpit boat there into second place. Up in third place, it looks like their Tantrum's now taken over. Justin McLeish from the Hombre with Mick McCarty in behind the wheel. So they head down now to finish lap number 1. It looks like a good run for Mike Godsell in the Moonshine.
Yeah, he's out to a commanding lead now, a good 150 metres. Moonshine over Steve Rumble in Cat Racing. And a great run down the outside now for Justin McLeish in Tantrum and Mick Ricardo in Hombre and Chris Dinan down the outside in the flat bottom boat as he comes out in 5th place. Oh, Steve Rumble just about tips it right on the starboard gunnel on the exit of turn number 1, as they're down in there. But look at the lead from Mike Godsell, doing a great job for Moonshine Racing. Then we go back to Steve Rumble and Mick McCardle.
Yeah, Mike Godsell now, he'll see yellow flag, a while left to go, just as he was doing yesterday. He's doing it all out in front. Stevie Rumble's coming through now in the cut racing. Nicely presented boat with itself. Tantrum comes across the line now into 3rd position with Justin McLeish. Hombre, Mick McCarty on the inside, and it is Chris Dinan in Excalibur into last position here, rounding out the field. But they are now heading down. Mike Godsell, the Moonshine Racing. He's going to make it 2 wins from 2 events this weekend in the Tattoos Are Us X100 National Drivers Championship. Well done to Mike Godsell, 1st place in the X100. We're going to look back down to Stevie Rumble. He's fallen back a little bit to Cat Racing. But it is now a race for 3rd position between the Hombre and the Tantrum. But it looks like the Hombre is now going to come through with Mick McCardle into 3rd position, followed by the Tantrum, Justin McLeish, and Chris Dinan will round out the field in the Excalibur.
Yeah, Chris Dinan. Back for heat number 1B of the X100 National Drivers Championship, brought to you by Tattoos Are Us, and the owner and chief artist of Tattoos Are Us is out in this event in a boat appropriately called the Artist. It's a beautifully presented green boat and may go very close to winning the show and shine last night, which we'll find out and get to you a little bit later on today. But our starters is Jimbo, Phil Smirlick, and he was very, very quick yesterday out of the Riverland Powerboat Club over there in Berry, South Australia. About time, Matt Smith making a return to racing after a long layoff. One more, Nathan Bartzak, with a boat purchased from Larry Cowlin over there at the WA Speedboat Club just recently. And the Artist starting out of pole 4 after being disqualified, or a 5-second penalty applied yesterday.
What the penalty was, but heard it at the briefing this morning, so haven't made any further inquiries at this point in time, but may have just been for a little last speed bracket breach, might have been 1k over perhaps. So starting from the outside is this one, Mark Schultz from Tattoos Are Us. Of course, the one more, beautiful paint job, Nathan Barocrat's behind the wheel. About time went really well yesterday with Matt Smith. And Jimbo, who started from his outside position, came to the inside and took out a heat win yesterday.
Well, the day's turning out beautiful, guys. A little bit of wind coming down from the east along the river banks here, but certainly mild and nice conditions. Water's got a little bit of chop to it, but it doesn't look too bad, PC. It looks pretty good.
Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. A little bit of a breeze coming down to the front straight away.
And mate, how good is the corporate area here?
Oh, mate, I'm about to hand the microphone over to you and Vaughan. I reckon no need for three of us to.
No, you're not.
We've got the catering going on. We've got a couple of drinks, a couple of bevies. So it's
what do you
very
reckon,
nice,
Vaughan?
great view.
Oh, it's awesome. The whole facility's here. This, as I said yesterday, I'm a first-time visitor to the Mildura region, and certainly a fantastic facility here at the Mildura Ski Club. You guys should be very proud.
Absolutely. Guys do a lot of work to make it what it is, and you can only imagine the amount of even just standard social events that are held down here from time to time. You know, social Friday night skis and the like when the weather's fine, and we have weather, you know, very much like this throughout the year. Even through the middle of winter, we get the odd day where it's get a bit of a warm spell. So yeah, it's great.
Just one thing we don't see very often back at home because of our temperatures that we get back there in Perth, but the amount of contrails that you see, you don't realise how much air traffic is actually flying over Mildura.
Huge.
Going in all different directions.
Yeah, huge. It's incredible.
All right, so everybody around at the milling area at the moment. The Barnyard Dog will be back very shortly with 4 runners. Jimbo, now he was impressive yesterday with his speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jimbo, he actually started from the outside,
Yep.
pole 4 yesterday, and made his way into second position, and then cut up the inside to take a win in the heat yesterday, I believe. So, yeah, the Jimbo, that gives him pole position number 1 for this particular heat. We're about time. Matt Smith had a good run yesterday, coming second in his heat. One more, and the artist will be in pole number 4 position with the artist there.
There they come around the corner, and this is our 3rd National Drivers' Championship class for this weekend. This is the X100, sponsored by Tattoos R Us, and Mark Schultz will be starting right up against the shoreline. And it's all looking at Phil Smerlick. He had a great turn of speed yesterday. He's right up alongside Barney in the start boat as they come down towards the course proper. Watch for the white flag to drop. There it goes, and we are racing here at the Sunraysia Spectacular X100, brought to you by Tattoos He's had to come out of pole 4, as that's what the APBA rules state for provisional drivers. So let's have a look. It is Nathan Bartzak in one more on the inside, this beautiful Mazda red colour. Then we've got the artist, and here comes Jimbo. Bill Smerling rounds up the artist, now sticks alongside of him. Gunnel to Gunnel, and then Nathan Bartzak in the one more. Well, they're nearly 3 wide down here, guys, as they come out of turn number 2 for the first time.
Yeah, good field here now. We've got about time just leading him out here with Jimbo on the very outside. Just taking now over. Schultz in the artist, but it is at the moment Matt Smith in about time. He heads them down into turn number 1 for the second time round. Couple of boat lengths lead, but it's Jimbo on the outside. Pretty impressive run by Phil Kremick. And the Jimbo, as he's looking to take him, but has to back out there. The artist is in the 3rd position. The Tattoos are us. Mark Schultz. We've got Nathan Barracks in the one more, rounding out the field in the 4th position. But it's anybody's race now out in front, Varney.
Yep, yellow flag on display. 1 lap to go here in this heat. And it is side-by-side battle. Jimbo down the outside. About time from Adelaide on the inside. That's Smith right on pole 1. And right in the middle is Mark Schultz in the artist. And then Nathan Bartzak in that beautifully presented Mazda red. The ex-Larry Cowlam boat out of Perth. But this battle up the front, about time. Smith grabs the lead. All of a sudden Jimbo now goes to the front. Smith starting to fight back again. Side by side, this action is so close here on the Mighty Murray. Matt Smith into turn number 2, just ahead of Phil Smerlick. Checkered flag is on display. Drag race to the line. Smith on the inside. Smerlick coming down the outside. This is going to go to the liner. It's going to be Smith. And he's happy. Got a big arm post.
The artist is going to a slowing stop, and Nathan Barracks in the one more. They'll be straight with that. The Marshall's got going about time. Matt Smith, pretty happy, pumps a fist across the finish line.
Yeah, it's about time he got racing again too. He's been sitting around over there in Adelaide for a long time, and that boat hasn't been used for a long time. So great to see that the Smith family rallying behind one of their own and getting that boat back up into the winner's circle. He got a bit frightening yesterday in practice when the boat failed over there down towards turn number 2, but turned it around, and look, he's gone on and taken a fabulous win today. When he gets back to the boat ramp here, we'll give everybody to put their hands together for Matt's. Looking at Phil Smirlick, he had a great turn of speed yesterday. He's right up alongside Barney in the start boat as they come down towards the course proper. Watch for the white flag to drop. There it goes, and we are racing here at the Sunraysia Spectacular X100, brought to you by Tattoos R Us. Although he was listed on pole position, he's had to come out of pole 4, as that's what the APBA rules state for provisional drivers. So let's have a look. It is Nathan Bartzak in one more on the inside, this beautiful Mazda red colour. Then we've got the Artist, and here comes Jimbo. Bill Smirling rounds up the Artist, now sticks alongside of him. Gunnel to Gunnel, and then Nathan Bartzak in the one more. Well, they're nearly 3 wide down here, guys, as they come out of turn number 2 for the first time.
Yeah, good field here now. We've got about time just leading him out here with Jimbo on the very outside, just taking a good position now over Schultz in the Artist. But it is at the moment Matt Smith in about time. He heads him down into turn number 1 for the second time round. Couple of boat lengths lead, but it's Jimbo on the outside. Pretty impressive run by Phil Kremick and the Jimbo as he's looking to take him, but has to back out there. The Artist is into 3rd position. The Tattoos are us. Mark Schultz. We've got Nathan Barracks in, but one more rounding out the field into 4th position. But it's anybody's race now out in front, Varney.
Yep, yellow flag on display. 1 lap to go here in this heat. And it is side-by-side battle. Jimbo down the outside. About time from Adelaide on the inside. It's Matt Smith right on pole 1. And right in the middle is Mark Schultz in the Artist. And then Nathan Bartzak in that beautifully presented Mazda Red. The ex-Larry Cowlam boat out of Perth. But this battle up the front, about time. Smith grabs the lead. Oh, all of a sudden Jimbo now goes to the front. Smith starting to fight back again. Side by side, this action is so close here on the Mighty Murray. Matt Smith into turn number 2, just ahead of Phil Smirlick. Checkered flag is on display. Drag race to the line. Smith on the inside. Smirlick coming down the outside. This is going to go to the liner. It's going to be Smith. And he's happy. Got a big arm post.
The Artist is going to a slowing stop, and Nathan Bartek in the one more. They'll be straight with that. The Marshall's got going again to take 4th position, but about time.
Enough at cursing yourselves without cursing anyone else, so I think probably the best wrap up for us is to show you that there's 4 of the best sitting in this one for Heat 2C and the X100 National Drivers Champ here for Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your Supercharged Saturday down here for the Sunraysia Spectacular for 2025. Proudly brought to you by the team and the naming rights sponsorship here of the GDS Freight Management Group. Big thank you to Damien and all the crew for their involvement here as naming rights sponsor to this fantastic event here this weekend at the foreshore of the Mildura and District Ski Club.
And we do a shout out to our sponsors. If you do actually want to come up and have a chat to the commentary team and introduce your company and your products to the great crowd here today and also on GP Hydro live stream, feel free, come on up and have a chat to us. Of course, lots of supporting sponsors this weekend. We've got our major sponsors, Ball and Boats, Mildura Rural City Council, the Gateway Mildura, Gateway Tavern, Transcool Transportable Buildings, Medex Medical, Custom Air Group, but we've also got Land Transport, Kincaid Marine, Arolco, Kavanagh Auto Parts, AgTech Machinery, Morel Earth Moving, Johnson's Trucks, Elite Diesel Solutions, Performance Bodyworks and Marine, the Music Maker International, Q Industries, Seidler Group, Thompson Linen Company, Melbourne forklifts, and of course their little forklifts are running around everywhere in our pits today. It's been fantastic. The MSC Signs, Scotty Patterson and the Turn It Up team. FWSR Group, the Fire Watch Safety Results Group, and of course PBR Transport. So we thank all of our sponsors, and of course our charity being Beyond Blue. Very important charity indeed.
We might have a quick chat about that one, PC.
Yeah.
Of course, we're proud to partner with Beyond Blue as the official charity partner for the 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular. Beyond Blue, everybody, is one of Australia's leading mental health organisations, providing support and information for anyone experiencing anxiety, depression or emotional distress. Their mission is to help people across Australia to achieve their best possible mental health by breaking down stigma, starting conversations and ensuring that no one faces the challenge alone. Funds raised across this weekend, okay, will go directly to Beyond Blue to help continue their vital work, including their 24-hour support service, which offers free, confidential counselling by phone, web chat or email to anyone who needs it. This partnership is especially meaningful to the Melbourne Runabout and Speedboat Club and the wider powerboat community, as it promotes not only awareness of mental well-being in a sport and lifestyle that relies so heavily on teamwork and also focus and resilience. We encourage everybody, to competitors, volunteers, families and spectators, to take a moment to check in on those around you and to remember it's okay not to be okay, and help is always available. And as we can see, PC, they're on the way to us now for the next of our races.
Now, X100, Hypo, Lewis Mills, the Sinister Four with Scott Kudston, the Performance with Nick Borg, and of course the Ricochet with Jake Wilson out of lane number 4 for this one.
Yeah, this is another exciting round of the X100 by Tattoos R Us. And it's going to be pole 3. Second place, just about getting a good spray there was Sinister 4. Getting a big hose down on the way in towards turn number 1. They're on the exit now, side by side. And it's the Performance boat on the outside, but Hypo making a good run. Lewis Mills up the inside here. They run side by side, right at the speed limit. They can't go any faster than what they're allowed to. GPS tracking all the way, so there's no denying it. As Nick Borg comes in, tries to close the door on Hypo, but Hypo gets out of the corner and will be credited with the lead up on that one.
Push on the outside there, the Hypo with Lewis Mills behind the wheel. Looks like Ricochet's fallen into 4th position with Jake on the wheel. But as I head down the back straight away now, it is Nick Borg on the outside of the Performance machine, trying to chase down Lewis Mills in the Hypo. Into 3rd position now is the Sinister 4 with Scott Goodson. Rounding out the field is Ricochet with Jake Wilson behind the wheel. But it is again Nick Borg, plenty of pressure here on the Hypo as they come almost together. As they head down the straight away, they'll see the yellow flag, 1 lap to go.
Yep, Performance on the outside, Hypo on the inside. Lewis Mills holding off. As they bounce their way down the main straight here. Then we go back to Sinister, and behind them, rounding out the field is Ricochet. But the battle, it's all on here, up the front, side by side again, gunner to gunner. Now they start to spread out. Mills on the inside in Hypo in their little white boat, and Nick Borg down the outside in Performance. I think Hypo is going to take this out, although Borg looking for a run around the outside here. This is his last opportunity to put some pressure on. They come out, they are still side by side. Can Lewis Mills hang on? There comes Nick Borg. It's going to be Lewis Mills taking the win in Hypo by 1 vote over Nick Borg in Performance. Then we go back to Sinister, driven by Scott Knudsen, and rounding out the field, Ricochet with Jake Wilson.
Fantastic race out there in front. It's as if they're still racing, these two. Into it now. The checkered flag's gone out, but they are still well and truly into it. And you don't want to be doing that because you can be disqualified for doing an extra lap after the race is finished. Yeah, so these two are going battle to battle.
They would have gone side by side. I could probably understand that Lewis Mills couldn't have seen the flag. But no, they haven't, and they have actually crossed the line doing another lap. So we'll leave that in the hands of race control to sort that one out. But as we saw it, it was Lewis Mills across the line from Nick Borg, Scott Knudsen, and then Jake Wilson.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. It's, you're not actually supposed to keep racing after the checkered flag, but I'm sure your adrenaline went up between the two guys. They were drag racing to the finish line and weren't probably looking at the checkered flag that was in front of them. So a great race between the hypo with Lewis Mills and the performance of Nick Borg out there. That was fantastic racing.
Geez, all of the drama that we associate with forced induction National Drivers' Championship, it looks like it's carrying over.
Yes,
the X100 Tattoos Are Us X100 category National Drivers' Championship. You may have just seen a little drone coming into land here. That's piloted by Joe Painter just down here on the right hand side of our corporate deal, and Joe does a lot of work not only for the powerboating but for the emergency services such as the fire brigade, the police, and a few other categories of emergency services over here on the East Coast. So welcome to Sunraysia, Joe. Hope you have a great day flying those beautiful little drones, and we thank you very much for your contribution to Australian powerboat racing. We're going to take a very short break. 6 litre action coming your way, brought to you by Kavanagh Auto Parts. They're next out on the water. Stick around, there's lots more to come. Me? Yep.
Oh, Scott Knudsen, the performance with Nick Borg, and of course the ricochet with Jake Wilson out of lane number 4 for this one.
Yeah, this is another exciting round of the X100 by Tattoos Are Us. And it's going to be pole 3. Second place. Just about getting a good spray there was Sinister 4. Hose down on the way in towards turn number 1. They're on the exit now, side by side, and it's the performance boat on the outside, but hypo making a good run. Lewis Mills up the inside here. They run side by side right at the speed limit. They can't go any faster than what they're allowed to. GPS tracking all the way, so there's no denying it. As Nick Borg comes in, tries to close the door on Hypo, but Hypo gets out of the corner and will be credited with the leader on that one.
And they can get Nick Borg, put down, push on the outside there of the Hypo with Lewis Mills behind the wheel. Looks like Ricochet is falling into 4th position with Jake on the wheel. But as I head down the back straight away now, it is Nick Borg on the outside of the performance machine, trying to chase down Lewis Mills in the Hypo. In the 3rd position now is the Sinister 4 with Scott Knudsen. Rounding out the field is Ricochet with Jake Wilson behind the wheel. But it is again Nick Borg, plenty of pressure here on the Hypo as they come almost together. As they head down the straightaway, they'll see the yellow flag, 1 lap to go.
Yep, performance on the outside, Hypo on the inside. Lewis Mills holding off Nick Borg as they bounce their way down the main straight here. Then we go back to Sinister, and behind them, rounding out the field is Ricochet. But the battle, it's all on here, up the front, side by side again, gunner to gunner. Now they start to spread out. Mills on the inside in Hypo in their little white boat, and Nick Borg down the outside in performance. I think Hypo was going to take this out, although Borg looking for a run around the outside here. This is his last opportunity to put some pressure on. They come out, they are still side by side. Can Lewis Mills hang on? There comes Nick Borg. It's going to be Lewis Mills taking the win in Hypo by 1 boat over Nick Borg in performance. Then we go back to Sinister, driven by Scott Knudsen, and rounding out the field, Ricochet with Jake Wilson.
Oh, fantastic race out there in front. It's as if they're still racing, these two.
This time it's the Kavanagh Auto Parts 6 litre National Drivers' Championship, and this is round number 1 this weekend. We got Steve Rarity in a very fast, it's a bullet, this boat. It's a beautiful midnight blue colour called Rastus. Alongside him, out of pole 2, will be Brenton Walsh, driving the Cavs boat, a predominantly white boat. Then from Riverland Powerboat Club over there in Berry, we have Brooder with Troy Sherpig behind the wheel, and rounding it out, Cranky. Now, Cranky sounds completely different to any other boat that you'll hear here this weekend. It's a bit like the Toyota 2JZ. It is a V8, but gee, it's got a weird whine to it.
Obviously a characteristic of a different design engine to what you'd normally find in what the guys are running out here as the normal guys, I suppose. But we'll keep an eye on that one.
Well, I did notice yesterday, you will notice when Cranky comes past, it's a bright red boat. There's a lot of water coming out of the exhaust pipes. Now, some rules and regulations around the country stipulate that you must run water through your exhaust pipe
and silence it as much as possible,
and, reduce the amount of decibels coming out of the outside of it. So we do have that rule in place in Perth because we race right next door to a residential area, even though it's Optus Oval and the Burswood Casino. On the other side of the Swan River, it's predominantly housing and units and apartments.
And you can only imagine the noise recoil coming off those.
The water doesn't absorb it.
No, it amplifies
it. Actually bounces across it.
Yeah.
So, it's just another one of our rules that we have to deal with over there. Unfortunately for our blown boats, we only have 2 of them over in Perth. They need to seek permission from the government to actually race at Burswood because of the excessive noise.
Yeah, right.
Is that Brenton Walsh?
Yeah, that looks like it could be Cavs, I think. It might be Brenton Walsh by... It's a long way away, so it's hard to tell, but I think it looks like perhaps the Cavs machine is
the only white boat out there.
Yes.
Yep, because Rastus is blue, Brooder is black, and Cranky is red. That is definitely a white boat, so not the start that Brenton Walsh should be looking for in the Cavs.
No, absolutely not.
Especially when it's the Kavanagh's Auto Parts sponsored machines as well.
Not the start. I mean, that was pretty quick yesterday. But Steve Rarity in Rastus, he is the guy to watch in this blue boat. He's on pole position for a really good reason, because it's the fastest boat so far. But that doesn't discredit.
Well, I was going to say, Troy Sherpig in that Brooder boat yesterday looked pretty solid too, right? Berry-based boat travelling across the border to be with us this weekend. Another solid-looking boat to keep an eye on.
True. And if we just jump ahead quickly, we've got 3 runners in the next heat coming up straight after this one. We've got Sick Puppy out of Queensland, Corey Marlin, Lock and Load with Ryan McIntosh, and Image with Craig Lewis. So this was a pretty stacked field for our Kavanagh Auto Parts National Drivers' Championship round number 1 here today, round number 2 tomorrow. And of course our 6 leaders also going for the Clyde Lewis Trophy tomorrow as well, predominantly for the 6-litre category. A trophy that's been around for many years and a very prestigious trophy now that the Trojan has wound up. That wound up last year, unfortunately, at Yarrawonga.
Yeah.
So this one will probably take over as the ultimate, the
penultimate.
one you want to win.
Yeah, the penultimate one, yeah.
We're still around the corner there. I think we're probably going to get a race start. Yes, we are. So we can see the Walsh boat over to the side near the houseboats up there. So we're down to 3 starters in this one. Rastus, Brooder and Cranky.
And again, for Land Transport, thank you very much for your involvement here this weekend with your specialised transport. Doing a fantastic job as we get ready to fire away for yet another of our fantastic races. Thank you, Land Transport.
So, can somebody get over the top of Steve Rarity? White flag down and they enter the course proper, and Rarity already out to 2 Brooder currently in second as they head down, and then Cranky with Dave Freeman around the outside trying to do something and catch up to the rest. Oh, Sherpig's got an issue with that boat. It was very, very doughy coming out of turn number 1 for the first time, and that's allowed Dave Freeman and Cranky to get right up alongside him, but it's all Rastus. Steve Rarity out in front. Looks like he's going to walk this one in, PC.
Yeah, he's got a good run again. It's Stephen Rarity in the Rastus. Loose coming down the front straight away. That covers it up still nicely. Leading the way for Brooder, Troy Shipley, and Cranky with Dave Freeman behind the wheel. As you can tell, it's got that very unusual tone to it. But I head down the back straight now. There is no problem at all at the moment for Steve Rarity in the Rasmus machine.
Trevor Sherping's got a real major issue with that boat coming out of the corners. Just seems to lay down with no power. And you watch it come out of turn number 2 as Rarity gets the yellow flag. 1 lap to go for him. Watch the boat of Sherping. It just about comes to a stop. Now that's going to allow Freeman and Cranky to come right up alongside of him, and it's gone quiet. That's all right, Rarity's still going, and side by side as they cross the finish line for the last time. Sherpig down the outside with an ailing boat. Cranky has now moved over onto pole 1 line. It goes into turn number 1 for the last time. In second place, can Sherpig drive and running down as he runs out of the water. Duckland and diving, Bruder having a hell of a ride down the back straight, but you can't take it away from this guy. Steve Rarity in Rasmus takes over a commanding lead for the race. Can Sherpig get this boat sorted out? Is not going to be able to catch Dave Freeman in Cranky. He will take out second place. And then all the way from Berry, Sherpig. It's the same problem. The guys are telling me tonight they had some sort of an issue with it getting out of the corner. It lays down, no power, and until it gets up and clears itself.
Incredible was that drive though, boys, for Rasmus Steve Rarity. What a fantastic drive for him, guys.
Well, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He is.
He purely peeled away from the rest of the field to sort themselves out. And looking at that distance, incredible. But what about bad luck for Brenton Walsh there as we see the boat coming back? That's a terrible way to start your day here on Saturday.
I think that's the first time that I have ever seen Brenton Walsh fail to start.
I was actually going to say it's probably the first time I've seen him get towed back,
yep.
Let alone the start. So very unfortunate. So hopefully it's nothing major for the guys, because Brenton Walsh has been doing a great job in the Cavs. And as you said, I was just about to say it myself. Very unusual to see it on the towboat.
So there's the hood up for him.
Yep. So he can hear you now, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Steve Rarity. Takes out another win in the Kavanagh Auto Parts National Drivers' Championship here at the Mildura Ski Club. Starting to fall over my tongue already, mate. That's only Saturday morning.
It's all good, mate. Don't stress.
Got lots more to come. Hopefully you can join us again tomorrow. You can come down to the Mildura Ski Club or jump back on board. So can somebody get over the top of Steve Rarity? White flag down and they enter the course proper, and Rarity already out to 2 boat as they head past. Bruder currently in second as they head down, and then Cranky with Dave Freeman around the outside trying to do something and catch up to the rest. Oh, Sherpig's got an issue with that boat. It was very, very doughy coming out of turn number 1 for the first time, and that's allowed Dave Freeman and Cranky to get right up alongside him, but it's all Rasta. Steve Rarity out in front. Looks like he's going to walk this one in, PC.
Yeah, he's got a good run again. It's Stephen Rarity in the Rasta. Loose coming down the front straight away. That colours it up still nicely. Leading the way for Bruder, Troy Shipling, and Cranky with Dave Freeman behind the wheel. As you can tell, it's got that very unusual tone to it. But I head down the back straight now. There is no problem at all at the moment for Steve Rarity in the Rasmus machine.
Trevor Sherping's got a real major issue with that boat coming out of the corners. Just seems to lay down with no power. And you watch it come out of turn number 2 as Rarity gets the yellow flag. 1 lap to go for him. Watch the boat of Sherping. It just about comes to a stop. Now that's going to allow Freeman and Cranky to come right up alongside of him, and it's gone quiet. That's all right, Rarity's still going, and side by side as they cross the finish line for the last time. Sherpig down the outside with an ailing boat. Cranky has now moved over onto pole 1 line. It goes into turn number 1 for the last time. In second place, can Sherpig drive and running down as he runs out of the water. Duckland and diving, Bruder having a hell of a ride down the back straight, but you can't take it away from this guy. Steve Rarity in Rasmus takes over a commanding lead for the race. Can Sherpig get this boat sorted out? He's not going to be able to catch Dave Freeman in Cranky. He will take out second place. And then all the way from Berry, Sherpig. It's the same problem. The guys are telling me tonight they had If you haven't seen it, you can jump onto YouTube and have a look at the Yarrawonga. It was one of the slowest blowovers I've seen. It seemed to get a little bit unsettled going side to side, and then the wind it got underneath it and away it went.
So Corey's got some merchandise down there as well, so we get on top of Sick Puppy. And of course we've also got the merchandising van up the back there with all the nice Sunraysia 2025 shirts available. Some Griffith Cup shirts are available as well, so get on down, have a look at the hats, the shirts and the stubby holders.
And don't forget, of course, all of the vendors down there this afternoon catering for the masses. And of course the bar being operated down there, plenty of coldies. Make sure you go down and visit all of the team down in the bar area. They've got anything and everything you'd like to drink for the day today and tomorrow, making sure that everyone's well watered down here at the Ski Club Foreshore for the running of the 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular here this weekend. Don't forget, of course, one of our sponsors this weekend, Baldwin Boats, our major sponsors, a family-owned marine manufacturer with over 40 years of experience in building, servicing and selling high-quality performance boats. Based here in Mildura, these guys know exactly what needs to be done when it comes to producing custom ski, race and houseboats, and they serve as the Mercury Marine dealer locally here. The business contributes significantly to Australia's boating industry through engine servicing, marine parts and river recovery services. And we do thank them for their involvement this weekend.
Isn't it amazing the people that you find in a corporate facility at a race meeting? If you look over to your left-hand side here, you've got a guy out, should be out there. He's very keenly watching this 6-litre challenge. It's Mark Ebenruder, who drives a very quick little red boat called Rooters. And unfortunately for Mark, recovering from an injury at the moment, so had to miss this weekend. But it'll be great to get Mark involved in this National Drivers' Championship in the coming rounds. So boats around in the milling area at the moment, and a Sick Puppy will be on lock and load with Ryan McIntosh behind the wheel, and Image Craig Lewis, who we saw had a bit of a breakdown out there this morning, so hopefully he's been able to sort that out and get the boat back on tap ready for this one, because this is just as important as the forced induction or the juniors or the X100 category. You must keep accruing points to be successful in this series. It rewards consistency in all 4 of these categories. So as they start to make their way around the mighty Murray River, heading towards the east, only 3 competitors in this one, but we saw a great battle yesterday with Lock and Load and Sick Puppy.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. And again, with Corey Marlin on the inside, Ryan McIntosh on the outside in the middle there, and then Craig Lewis with the Image. So they come down. This will be a ripper. It's only 3, but it will still be a ripper race. The flag is up. They're going to get a good start here. It's a good lineup. The flag is down, ladies and gentlemen, and they're into it now. Sick Puppy on the inside. It is a load. Sick Puppy looks to have with him the whole way down, and Craig Lewis is on the outside as they head into turn number 1. It is deck to deck at the moment here. Corey Marlin gets the power down, jumps it around a little bit. This will give Rock and Load the opportunity to come up the outside. Ryan McIntosh is pushing. This is like yesterday. Looks like Image is sorted at the spots, but they're heading down now here. It's tight corner. That's very good cornering there by Corey Marlin. Rock and Load on the outside.
Yep, comes out of turn number 2 for the first time. Nice descending now. It's after trying to come across the start. Rock and Load in second place at the moment, starting to fall away now, but I think that's just due to Corey's superior turning. Boat behaving itself beautifully as it exits turn number 1 for the second time. Now it starts to hit the boss from the previous laps, and Lewis definitely has that boat turned back on again. Missed the start unfortunately, but he'll be back bigger and better in race number 3 coming up later on as he goes side by side now with Rock and Load. So Marlin, he's just out, he's in the next postcode. It's going to be a battle here between Lewis. Now he starts to drive the boat down the outside of Rock and Load.
Sick Puppy hits its way up the back straight. The race is now between second and third with Lock and Load under pressure for Craig Lewis in the Image machine. They're seeing Craig Lewis is on the outside, Lock and Load on the inside of it. Looks like Image is slowed and stopped again, unfortunately. But this will be Corey Marlin now, he'll see the checkered flag. He's going to make it 2 wins from 2 heats. As unfortunately Images slowly to a stop. Corey Marlin takes the win with lock and load. Ryan McIntosh will come across the line in second, but unfortunately for Craig Lewis, Images comes on again, another stop.
Yeah, that's a couple of times now that we've seen the Image boat come to a stop. He'll be devastated. I know he's got a pretty serious shoulder injury on board that boat, but it's not the personal injury that's doing him any harm. It's the boat mechanically wise, unfortunately.
Mate, that thing got a lot of air before and then literally pulled up where it is right now. So certainly not what was to be expected in that one. And even on the nail when that occurred.
Yeah, it seemed like the boat had just started to get its momentum.
Correct.
About 1.5 laps into that 3-lap journey. And then, as you said, he jumped out of the water and everything.
So from, I suppose, our end, Vaughan, it's about now making sure that hopefully there's not too much wrong with that. The guys will want it back to get it apart and have a look at it. Hopefully there is not too much wrong with that boat for the today and tomorrow.
No, I can't see any smoke or anything coming out of the boat as the hatch comes up. So Craig will be straight out and around the back of this boat. You'll be looking to trying to get a head start on engineering this boat. Yep, look at that, straight around to the back of the boat. And he'll check it out and get it sorted out. But you can't take it away from this young kid. He is a very exciting prospect in Australian powerboat racing. Young Corey Marlin out of the Gold Coast up there in Queensland. A Lewis boat, an Image boat in collaboration with Troy. They've made some alterations to the Image hull.
But it will still be a ripper race. The flag is up. They're going to get a good start here. It's a good lineup. The flag is down, ladies and gentlemen, and they're into it now. Sick Puppy on the inside. It is a load. Sick Puppy looks to have just a little bit more. So head down. Rock and load. Hanging with him the whole way down. And Craig Lewis is on the outside as they head into turn number 1. It is deck to deck at the moment here. Corey Marlin gets the power down. Jumps it around a little bit. This will give Rock and Load the opportunity to come up the outside. Ryan McIntosh is pushing. This is like yesterday. Looks like Images sorted in the spots. But they're heading down now here. It's tight cornering. That's very good cornering there by Corey Marlin. Rock and Load on the outside.
Yep, comes out of turn number 2 for the first time. Nice and centered now. It starts to shine water as it comes across the start. Rock and Load in second place at the moment, starting to fall away now, but I think that's just due to Corey's superior turning. Boat behaving itself beautifully as it exits turn number 1 for the second time. Now it starts to hit the boss from the previous laps, and Lewis definitely has that boat turned back on again. Missed the start unfortunately, but he'll be back bigger and better in race number 3 coming up later on as he goes side by side now with Lock and Load. So Marlin, he's checked out, he's in the next postcode. It's going to be a battle here between Lewis. Now he starts to drive the boat down the outside of Lock and Load.
Sick Puppy heads its way up the back straight. The race is now between second and third with Lock and Load under pressure for Craig Lewis in the Image machine. Let's see, Craig Lewis is on the outside, Lock and Load on the inside of it. Looks like Image is slowed and stopped again, unfortunately. But this will be Corey Marlin now. He'll see the checkered flag. He's going to make it 2 wins from 2 heats. As unfortunately Image is slowly to a stop. Corey Marlin takes the win with Lock and Load. Ryan McIntosh will come across the line in second, but unfortunately for Craig Lewis, Image has come to again, another stop.
Yeah, that's a couple of times now that we've seen the Image boat come to a stop. He'll be devastated. I know he's got a pretty serious shoulder injury on board that boat, but it's not the personal injury that's doing him any harm. It's the boat mechanically wise.
They will get hotter and hotter and hotter, and we're up.
Good night.
Of the Kavanagh Auto Parts 6-litre National Drivers' Championship yesterday. So Craig unfortunately did have a little issue, so hopefully he'll be right to go today. Of course, his Clyde Lewis trophy is on for grabs this afternoon or tomorrow, so looking forward to seeing them. But out on the water now, Brett Nedry in the BNR machine. As I said, he pulled at least 3 to 4 trials yesterday afternoon. He was the last competitor on the water and first out this morning, so looking for some horsepower and some setup and more around the boat rather than the engine, as he said to us this morning.
Well, for the first time this weekend, we see our 25 horsepower category hitting the water here at the Mildura Ski Club. And this is the logical step up once you finish the J1, J2 and J3 programs. For the juniors, you can step up and go from a 15 horsepower up to a 25 horsepower boat. And we've got a good field here this weekend with Aquasonic, with Tyler Scott behind the wheel, a very, what some people would say, a very unusual looking 25 horsepower. That is a full UIM class safety cell on board this boat. It's the only one in Australia, and his father, Stephen Scott, he is a whiz when it comes to working with fiberglass, and you can see the 33 heading down with the nose right out of the water. It sits very proud as he goes down the back straight for the first time. So that was Aquasonic. We also have Supernaut, Cameron Allen. And then we have Filthy, Tyson Heathcote. Master Force with Ryan Thompson. Crazy Attitude, Todd Clark. Little Dramas in Declan Hartley. And Aquaholic in Tyson Heathcote. Actually, I've got Tyson down twice here. So he's either driving Filthy or he's driving Aquaholic. We'll get that confirmed with our race control. 7 starters for our 25 horsepower category this weekend. Is everybody heading up towards the milling area, but one's been left behind here, so there will be a slight delay to the start. So, Supernaut with Cameron Allen and Harrison Trimble. Another strong team joins the 25 horsepower class for the 2025 GTS Freight Management Sunraysia Spectacular. They're going to be sharing the driving duties in the Supernaut. We have a look down at Aquaholic, Tyson Heathcote. Tyson's raced in the 25 horsepower class before, and his return could not be better timed. He's one of the victims, unfortunately, of ski boat racing being put into limbo at the moment, so it's fantastic to see some of their ski racing competitors turning to circuit racing. Ryan Thompson out there as well in Master Force, and Ryan is no stranger to the Mildura Ski Club. He's been involved with the club and ski racing for many years, but this October marks a special return. Ryan is making his comeback to circuit racing after first hitting the water in the Formula Future class a few years ago. So that's the natural progression. Once you finish with the little engines, the 6.6, the 9.9 and the 15s, you jump up into these 25 horsepower machines. So as they are coming around the bend now and making their way back towards the start line, still that last boat trying to catch up. It was looked like it was a blue boat. So 7 starters, and it's the only one that I don't have information on. But they look really good. That looks super great as they come back towards us. 7 wide as they accept the green flag very shortly. White flag still on board with the Barnyard Dog. The white flag about to drop, and we go racing in our 25 horsepower category for the first time this weekend. And it's Tyler Scott on pole 1. And away we go, and it's a very even start right across the board. There's the 33 that will be granted the lead as they go down. It looks like they're going to be 4 wide back here for 3rd place. As they go into turn number 1 for the first time. Obviously a little bit more power than the junior category, and still using the same type of wing boats. I think they're all wings out there. I don't see any displacements. they still rock and roll, and still a lot of effort required to drive these boats and keep them nice, and you can see them flying with that only a little part of the back end of the hull making contact, as we see Tyler starting to get right on the limit now, and we've already had one blow over this weekend. We don't want any more of that. So now he settles the boat down and drives it out of turn number 2 for the first time. Good battle on further back in the field for 5 and 6. And also now for 3 and 4 as well. There's Aquasonic, Supernaut, Filthy, Master Force, Crazy Attitude, Little Dramas, and Aquaholic. So boats now starting to be affected by the wakes that are moving back over towards the shore on the north side. They'll start to get a little bit uneasy now, and they'll start rolling from left to right, but also up and down. If they get that trim wrong, they'll be very wet very quickly. But a great job so far. We'll round out another lap out of turn number 2 for Tyler Scott, driving the 33 out of the Victorian Speedboat Club. And that is an awesome boat. Look at that. It's about 3
it's a beautiful boat, isn't it, Ron? Yeah, look.
Not much makes contact with the water, does it?
Stephen Scott, Tyler working away in the shed. Tyler still on that boat itself and doing a fantastic job. It's been doing some domination in this particular class.
Master Force in 3rd.
Oh! Tyler got very, very high coming out of the corner there as he hit the back straight away. Got plenty of air underneath the boat. He has had a few little incidents in this one, so he'll be trying to take it nice and careful up the back straight. But it does look like he's getting a little bit of ground taken off him, Vaughan.
Yeah, it certainly was that little bit of a whoopsie coming out of turn number 1 there for the second time. It's allowed the guy in second. I just can't make out who that boat is, but he's getting a pretty rough ride down there on the entry into turn number 2. But Tyler seems to fly the boat right on the limit of going over backwards. Checkered flag out. So it looks like he's going to take the win.
Had a good win there. Nice little win.
Can't see who that second one, VO.
The VO17. So
sorry, I haven't got it on my photos. It doesn't show you. But a good run for all of that's Master Force going through. I can see that one clearly. Green boat I don't have a photo of.
The green one's
that's Aquasonic.
Aquasonic.
Yep, that's in the green boat. The yellow boat going through could be Declan Hartley in Little Dramas. And Crazy Attitude out there as well with Todd Clark. So we'll wait and get our official race results for that one, but it does look like Tyson Scott will take the win in that very unusual looking boat, but it certainly doesn't seem to affect its performance. You know, that's extra weight compared to the other boats, but then it's got extra safety built into that boat. Yeah,
they built it pretty light, I must say. Been up the shed when it was being constructed, and they've done a fantastic job. They are trying to run with the safety capsule type system in it, and it is actually pretty light. So it's a good little boat. They designed it really well, and Tyler's doing a fantastic job.
I believe it's a full UIM certified safety cell.
It is indeed, yes. Stephen Scott has been working very, very hard to bring up the standards and safety in this particular class, and he's done a magnificent job.
I just see Steve now heading down to the bottom of the boat ramp. So one of the hard-working members here this weekend, but also at the Victorian Speedboat Club. Puts in a lot of work for that club, and particularly at the big events like the Yarrawonga, the EC Griffiths Cup race meeting every year. Yep, thank you.
So I just talking to Tabs, and I just asked, what happened. It's very unusual for you guys to be towed back in. And all it was the start plug on the boat came out. And normally it's a push in, and it wasn't pushed in far enough, and it came out with the vibration, and that's all it was.
Okay, so that's one of the little plastic key deals.
Yes, yeah, it just wasn't plugged in to the side. Wasn't pushed in properly and just fell out, unfortunately. So we'll be seeing the Cavs back out there very shortly. So good news there, no damage done.
No, and that's not going to cost them any money as well. So that's even better. How many times do we see it in motorsport? That 20-cent part could be all it takes between you and a championship.
That's it. It's exactly what could happen to you, unfortunately. So, but good news is that they can fix that. They've identified it and be right to go again for the next race.
That's great. Well, we're going to move back on to some forced induction racing. So please, if you do have young children, just be aware that it is about to get very noisy, very abrupt, and the sound can happen without you really expecting it, I would say, because sometimes these things make some extremely loud noises, and it looks like we are missing Odin again. So this one is heat number 2 for the 2025 Battery World National Drivers' Championship here at the Mildura Ski Club. Our entrance for this one, on pole position, Decision with Brent Lewis. Alongside him from Perth, Western Australia, Les Smith driving Mad Dog. Out of 3, the purple and white boat, Royce McIntyre out of Mayhem, and then we should have Odin, but it looks like they will be another do not start. So big words. We're going to have to try and get somebody around to the Constable family and have a look and see what's going on.
Hey, Vaughan, while I've got a couple of minutes, I might just quickly sneak in. I've got some really good news for you. I managed to get down to the far end of the complex now, and I'm down here with the team at the Savage Promotions van, and they have all the official merchandise, everybody, for the Sunraysia Spectacular here this weekend. Everything from stubby holders, caps, you name it. But, mate, I don't really know the full gamut of it. Lou's with me. Hey, Lou, welcome down to the awesome area here at the Mildura Ski Club.
Thanks for having us, and thanks to the Mildura Ski Club for putting on such an amazing event.
Yeah, how cool is it, right? We've woken up all the neighbours. We got started really early this morning, but everything's kicking along nicely, and there's a nice stream of people going through the van at the moment, grabbing everything from tees and shirts. What do you got there, Lou?
Basically, we've got everything. If it's a little bit loud for you, we've got earplugs, we've got shirts, we've got jumpers, because it still gets cool at night. We've got stubby holders, hats. If we haven't got the hat you like, we can print it on site. If we haven't got what you want in stock, we can order it online in front of you. And of course, the pick for me is that beautiful white dress shirt with the logo on it. But anything from a formal style shirt through to the tank tops, you name it, there's literally anything and everything. Caps, stubby holders, it's all down here, guys. Vaughan, PC, you got to make sure you come down and have this thing down here. They are stocked full of gear. Hey, Lou, make sure you have a wonderful day today. We'll do another spot later on, and sure we'll catch up with the madman Mark later, either today or probably more tomorrow, I would think. Yeah, he will be here at some stage. He's pretty famous for his disappearing acts, he's Mark Savage.
Yeah, good work. Back to you up in the tower there, Vaughan.
See you later.
And away we go, and it's a very even start right across the board. The final safety checks being done by all of the 33 that will be granted the lead as they go down. It looks like they're going to be 4 wide back here for 3rd place as they go into turn number 1 for the first time. Obviously a little bit more power than the junior category, and still using the same type of wing boats. I think they're all wings out there. I don't see any displacements. They still rock and roll, and still a lot of effort required to drive these boats and keep them nice, and you can see them flying with that only a little part of the back end of the hull making contact, as we see Tyler starting to get right on the limit now, and we've already had one blow over this weekend. We don't want any more of that. So now he settles the boat down and drives it out of turn number 2 for the first time. Good battle on further back in the field, 4, 5 and 6. And also now for 3 and 4 as well. There's Aquasonic, Supernaut, Filthy, Master Force, Crazy Attitude, Little Dramas, and Aquaholic. So boats now starting to be affected by the wakes that are moving back over towards the shore on the north side. They'll start to get a little bit uneasy now, and they'll start rolling from left to right, but also up and down. If they get that trim wrong, they'll be very wet very quickly. But a great job so far. We'll round out another lap out of turn number 2 for Tyler Scott, driving the 33 out of the Victorian Speedboat Club. And that is an awesome boat. Look at that. There's about
it's a beautiful boat, isn't it, Ron? Yeah, look.
Not much makes contact with the water, does it?
Stephen Scott and Tyler working away in the shed. Tyler's still on that boat itself and doing a fantastic job. It's been doing some domination in this particular class.
Master Force in 3rd.
Oh! Tyler got very, very high coming out of the corner there as he hit the back straight away. Got plenty of air underneath the boat. He has had a few little incidents in this one, so he'll be trying to take it nice and careful up the back straight. But it does look like he's getting a little bit of ground taken off him, Vaughan.
Yeah, it certainly was. That little bit of a whoopsie coming out of turn number 1 there for the second time. It's allowed the guy in second. I just can't make out who that boat is, but he's getting a pretty rough ride down there on the entry into turn number 2. But Tyler seems to fly the boat right on the limit of going over backwards. Checkered flag out. So it looks like he's going to take the win.
Had a good win there. Nice little win.
Can't see who that second one,
The VO17. So
sorry, I haven't got it on my photos. It doesn't show you. But a good run for all of that. That's Master Force going through. I can see that one clearly. Green boat I don't have a photo of.
The green one's Aquasonic.
Yep, that's in the green boat. The yellow boat going through. Could be Declan Hartley in Little Dramas. And Crazy Attitude out there as well with Todd Clark. So we'll wait and get our official race results for that one, but it does look like Tyson Scott will take the win in that very unusual looking boat, but it certainly doesn't seem to affect its performance. You know, that's extra weight compared to the other boats, but then it's got extra safety built into that boat.
Yeah, they built it pretty light, I must say. Been up the shed when it was being constructed, and they've done a fantastic job. They are trying to run with the safety capsule type system in it, and it is actually pretty light. So it's a good little boat. They designed it really well, and Tyler's doing a fantastic job.
I believe it's a...
The next one always is, because you always try to do something better every time. So.
And obviously growing up around Lake Eppalock, you've seen many boats. You just mentioned Tommy Watts, an Exciter. Any favourite one that you've seen over the years? Obviously, you know, you've got the Thunderboats, you've got the blown displacements, you've got the outboards. You've probably seen it all at Lake Eppalock, but do you have one favourite?
Oh, absolutely. I reckon when Johnny Lewis won with Vulture and beat the Thunderboats, that's probably the best moment I've ever seen in boat racing. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool times indeed, and it's well documented. So, well, congratulations on home building in Seidler Homes, and we thank you very much for your ongoing support. It is very much appreciated.
Certainly is. Thank you very much to Chris Seidler from Seidler Homes. Don't know what the delay is down here at the moment. It's very unusual because we like to push the meetings along and get the drivers out there. But as you said, mate, they'll be absolutely cooking down there at the moment with the cells shut and no airflow happening through those little cabins at all. So this is pretty cool. We got 3 boats out there that are basically 3 family teams. Not a lot of support from corporate sponsors. They do it all for the love of the sport.
Yeah, they do, and I think boat racing's traditionally like that, but we are seeing some extra funds coming in with some magnificent support. Battery World, of course, going through with the sponsorship and extending the sponsorship into 2027, so looking forward to them. And now we've got them firing up, so good news. The decision's going to be pushed out. The Mad Dog as well, and the Mayhem will be heading out for this particular heat. Always a nervous moment when they don't fire first time, Vaughn.
I'm just watching the back end of Royce McIntyre's boat. It's had 3 attempts. There's the 4th attempt now. There it goes. Oh, so close. Looks like Les Smith is away. Brent Lewis is away. It's just Royce McIntyre to get going. And these are the types of the race meeting that can really make or break your weekend. That just about went that time.
Just about there. Keep it going. It's how to fire up when they've been sitting there. And he's got it now.
Yep,
got
he's away. So well done to Royce. He would have had a few heart-starting moments just then as the boat wasn't firing up.
Well, it's a bit of a panic when that happens, I can tell you.
Yeah.
I've had it happen to myself, and you're sitting there and you're pushing the button and you get excited and you're thinking, oh, is this thing going to go? And,
going to happen. Great family team are the McIntyres, and they don't have an endless budget. They're creeping up. They're improving this boat all the time. And I was talking to the guys yesterday, and they were saying they get to a certain point, then they've got to basically start again because the boat has changed behaviour, or they get to the extremities of performance with what they've got, so then they have to go and spend some money and go that little bit further. They're just creeping up on it and, keeping it all nice and safe. As we have a look at Les Smith in Mad Dog, he's got some Victorians on his side this weekend. Well, I can see 2 of them down there on the shore with Mick Taranto and Heath down there, Heath Hamilton from the Glenmaggie and Districts Boat Club. They've come on board this month to help out his good mate Les Smith. And of course, all the way from Berry, a big shout out to Chris Philp from Berry Diesel Services. Thanks very much for jumping on board and helping out Les Smith this weekend in Mad Dog, as he's been so far taking it up to the more seasoned professionals. And there we have Brent Lewis out of Queensland in the Lewis family boat, an Image hull. Now running a 429 cubic inch.
Yeah, size doesn't always matter in this category because it's how you get the power down, and we've seen it so far. He's got the quickest lap time in the hot laps. He's done very, very well from pole number 4 in his heat number 1 to take out heat number 1. So Brent is all over it at the moment. He's doing extremely well into this decision. He'll love pole position number 1 here.
Yeah, well, there's no mucking around. They're already on their way back towards us here at the start-finish line. This is heat number 2A of the 2025 Battery World National Drivers' Championship. So we wait for the white flag to go. Now we are racing, and it looks like decision on the inside. Actually, it's fairly even all the way across the board now. Decision starts go back to Royce McIntyre, about 10 metres behind the back of Les Smith. Can Les get through turn number 1 okay and keep the boat in the water? And yes, he does. It takes off like a bullet out of turn number 1. But Brent Lewis, he's going to have 100 metres on him by the time they get around here to the start-finish line. Big spray coming off the front of the Image hull as he opens up the throttle. The 479 cubic inch motor. place, and then we go back to Royce McIntyre.
On the back right away now. Leading away quite comfortably from Les Smith and the Mad Dog. And the Mayhem, Royce McIntyre is holding down and out the back straight into third position. But out in front, it is Brent Lewis in the decision. He is coming down now. He'll see the yellow flag with 1 lap to go. He's doing quite nicely out in front. Controlling the pace of the race. And it is Les Smith in the Mad Dog. All the way from Western Australia. Doing nicely in the second position. Number 3 is the Mayhem as he's coming down, and he'll see the yellow flag. But on the back straight now, a
win here in the Heat 2A of the National Drivers' Championship, brought to you by Battery World. Comes out of turn number 2, opens up the throttle, sees the checkered flag and takes a win. After top qualifying yesterday and being disqualified, that's a great way to fight back. 2 from 2. Will take out second place. And then we go back to the family-run team of Royce McIntyre. And having a few issues with the boat earlier on, but now it looks a lot more settled. And as I say, let us start to bounce around. The weights off the 2 previous boats with Mad Dog and Decision. Well, that's the way they're going to finish. No damage to any of those boats, so they'll be lining up again tomorrow for the finals. Of course, these guys also eligible for the Harrison Trophy coming up later on, and that is open to all unlimited boats, and that will include those mighty tunnel boats all the way over from Adelaide. There's Ryan Stunnell, Adam Smith and Jared Smith in the brand new 2016 DAC out of Italy. And that's going to be really worth watching. These little tunnel boats, they'll run right around the outside of these displacement or the forced induction boats. But cockpit open already on Brent Lewis. I'd say the temperature would be peaking out in there after that one and sitting in the sun for so long. Heat 2B. Championship. So we wait for the white flag to go. Now we are racing, and it looks like Decision on the inside. Actually, it's fairly even all the way across the board now. Decision starts to we go back to Royce McIntyre, about 10 metres behind the back of Les Smith. Can Les get through turn number 1 okay and keep the boat in the water? And yes, he does. It takes off like a bullet out of turn number 1. But Brent Lewis, he is dry. He's going to have 100 metres on him by the time they get around here to the start-finish line. Big spray coming off the front of the image hull as he opens up the throttle. The 479 50 motor. Second place, and then we go back to Royce McIntyre.
On the back right away now, leading away quite comfortably from Les Smith and the Mad Dog. And the Mayhem, Royce McIntyre is holding down and out the back straight into third position. But out in front, it is Brent Lewis in the decision. He is coming down now. He'll see the yellow flag with 1 lap to go. He's doing quite nicely out in front, controlling the pace of the race. And it is Les Smith in the Mad Dog, all the way from Western Australia, doing nicely in the second position. With number 3 is the Mayhem as he's coming down, and he'll see the yellow flag. But on the back straight now, Brent Lewis.
Take out a win here in the Heat 2A of the National Drivers' Championship, brought to you by Battery World. Comes out of turn number 2, opens up the throttle, sees the checkered flag and takes a win. After top qualifying yesterday and being disqualified, that's a great way to fight back. 2 from 2. Les Smith will take out second place. And then we go back to the family-run team of Royce McIntyre. Heat number 1. Can he back it up? Can he run with the young hotshot in Connor Patterson in Turn It Up? And of course, you can't discount Scotty Cleaver, although he did come to a stop in the previous race, was able to get it refired up again and continued on and gathered some very valuable points towards the National Drivers' Championship, sitting in 4th place overall coming into this race meeting was Scotty Cleaver. recently made the change from ski racing and jumping into circuit racing. And in his first year has really excelled. He's opened up a few people's eyes. They knew it was going to happen. He's a real true professional, is Scotty Cleaver. And the Supernova team have been doing a great job so far this weekend to get that boat back out on the water after its little issue in heat number 1.
You know, Vaughan, you've only got to look at it from a point of view of, and I don't want to sound bad here, but an outsider coming into a group. It takes quite a while to get your head around what's going on. And to be honest with you, I think Scotty, with his approach, has done a pretty solid job of converting across and getting to not only understand what the racing's about and all the other bits, but you know what he needs to do to make sure that he's not only competitive but reliable and competitive. And that's the real key, isn't it? Like, it's not just about you're the fastest guy.
No.
You've got to be the fastest guy all the time, right?
But coming from ski boat racing, he said you've got to be on the throttle all the time.
Correct.
Because if there's any slack in the lines, the skiers are going to be pretty seriously hurt.
Yeah.
So he's spending a little bit of time coming to grips with the deceleration of the boat into the corner.
Yeah.
He's not used to that.
No.
And he's finding the limit of how far away from the corner he needs to start operating that cab plate to keep the boat settled,
Yeah.
to take some speed away.
Which is a 100% total different strategy to what he's always ever been accustomed to, and that is protecting what's hanging off the back. So it is way different, and I think, to be honest with you, to be kind of where he is right now, that's a testimony to what he and or his crew have put together in their assault to circuit racing. So hats off to Scotty Cleaver and team there for their involvement.
So if we look to the west on the Mighty Murray, 3 forced induction boats for Heat 2B making their way, and they are just about at the circuit proper. We are about to go racing here. The Battery World National Drivers' Championship. White flag is down and away we go. Connor Patterson on pole. Makes a roar down towards the outside of turn number 1. They're 3 wide onto the entry there. Looks like Patterson and Nidri. Nidri's got the best of turn number 1, but look out. Here comes the little boat that can turn it up. Running side by side with a big block chev by the engine whisperer in Brett Nidri. Nidri's moved back about 3 or 4 boat lengths now as they come out of turn number 1. Both boats fairly settled. From Nidri and Cleaver.
Up the back right now. It is Connor Patterson just opening up a very, very small gap now to Brett Nidri in the BMR engines. Up the back straight they go now. Connor Patterson was under plenty of pressure. Brett Nidri's looking very, very strong now. He's getting creeping up on it all weekend long. But Connor Patterson now leads Brett Nidri as up the back straight away. Scott Cleaver in the Supernova. Oh, Connor Patterson doing very, very well. Coming down the front straight. BMR engine second place, and Scotty Cleaver in the Supernova still running in 3rd position. The Connor Patterson's up the back straight away now for last time.
It is Scotty Cleaver having all handling problems coming out of turn number 2 that time. But it's Scotty Connor Patterson throws the boat sideways into the last corner for the last time. Look at the spray out of this boat. Keeps it nice and settled on the way out. Now it starts to shine north and way up, not to start really flying. Another good win for Connor Patterson. He's doing it up. Tried to go with the young guy and did for a lap and a half, and then started to fall away from Connor Patterson. And then the ex-ski racer in the Rob Casala boat, Scotty Cleaver. He comes across the line in 3rd position. So 3 starters and 3 finishes for the second time this afternoon. That's good. No major damage happened to any of the boats except for Odin at the moment, and we will try and get some information as to what's happening with the Constable Brothers Racing Odin 510 as soon as we can.
Well, they're trying pretty hard out there, Vaughan, and even in that last back straightaway, Connor Patterson got very, very loose as he was about to enter into the last turn up there, so he got the wobbles up.
And PC, I don't know whether you saw Brett Nidri behind him. Man, he was out of shape, and how he straightened that up and kept that together was incredible as well. That's how tough those guys are, and pushing on that last turn, it was incredible to watch.
You know, it's only a 4-minute race, but I tell you what, it'd be like running a marathon when you get out of one of these boats. you've been battered from head to toe for 4 minutes. And then there's also the mental concentration it takes to drive one of these boats. It's not easy. It's not like in our Haynes Signature or that you just drive down the Murray River.
Yeah.
These things up to 2,000 horsepower and capable of 160 miles an hour. Even on that rough water, you can see how they jump and dip and dive and get right out of the water. It's a spectacular class of Australian motorsport. So get behind it. Keep following the series and make sure you keep an eye on 7 Mate, or you can call it up at any time on 7 Plus, one of our major sponsors for the Battery World National Drivers Championship for 2025. Straight away, we're into heat number 3, guys. It's Blake Ramsey driving Destiny from Geelong. We have Brett Ramsey, no relation, in Ravage, the 2JZ straight 6-cylinder turbocharged Lexus engine, and the favourite, the leader on the point score coming into this weekend with a brand new deal for 2025. It's Tate Ramsey in Lay It On. So when they head down into the milling area, PC, it's a bit like the calm before the storm, isn't it? We can hardly hear them when they're down in the milling area, but that certainly changes with 100 and something decibels coming past at the drop of the white flag.
It is, so it's the Destiny will be out of lane number 1 with Blake Ramsey. His brother Lay It On out of 2 with Tate, and then the Ravage, Brett Ramsey out of lane 3. So
beautiful French there, PC. Ramsey.
He's got the Ramses and the Ramsey.
Yeah. No relation, obviously.
So,
and another heat looks like it's making its way into the water as well, or is Mikey just late? Just confirming on our entry list.
Hey guys, again, quick thank you to the team at GDS Freight Management as the naming rights sponsor here this weekend. Big thank you to them for their involvement. Been established and run out of Mildura since 1980, and they operate a modern fleet that offers warehousing, supply chain solutions and dedicated freight services to the beverage and food and FMCG industries. Big thank you to GTS Freight Management, to Damien Matthews and all of the families involved with the team there. They do a wonderful job, and a very proud Mildura business getting behind the naming rights sponsorship here for our 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular here this weekend.
getting a few up here in the VIP area, enjoying that lovely sunshine and great viewing here at the ski club at Mildura. It's been a fantastic venue. And big shout out to the ski club for hosting us here. It's been fantastic.
All I can say is, PC, for those that aren't here, that could be here, that aren't here, you are missing out, guys. Seriously. This is definitely the place to be.
You'd hear it all the way back in the CBD for sure.
Oh, trust me, they can hear it. But what's the use of hearing it if you can't come here and feel it?
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
For those that are here with us already know that. So they're here and enjoying it. I mean, look at the sunshine, the weather that we've got. As we can see the boats rounding the corner.
Yep.
Vaughan, looks like we're ready for the next of the
Two
heats.
white boats, two brothers out of the Geelong area of Victoria. Destiny, Blake Ramsey on pole position. His brother, the current points leader, coming into this event this weekend. Tate Ramsey, and then the little straight 2JZ of Brett Ramsey on the outside. A white flag down, and away we go racing by. Tate Ramsey picks it up on the right-hand side. Kicks in a 470 on board Tate Ramsey and a 480 on board with Blake Ramsey as they come out of the corner, and Blake's all out of the water, and so is Tate. The only one at the moment, he has 50 metres over his brother, who goes very, very wide, comes right around the outside. Let's see what type of an exit they get out of turn number 2. Back to Brett Ramsey in the straight 6 little Toyota Lexus motor. Blake doing a great job at the moment, extending that lead, and Tate Ramsey just happy for second place at the moment.
And Bloke Ramsey now still leading away quite nice. Oh, he's gone loose, he's gone wide. He's missed the corner slightly, he's missed the apex altogether. This might leave the door open slightly, but he's got the power back down, settles it. Well up to go, yellow flag is out. Not usually in this position. Ravage is showing a good set of speed as well with Brett Ramsey behind the wheel, but it's up the back straight now. It is Blake Ramsey in destiny, leading away with half a lap to go. Right on Tate Ramsey's chasing him down, but it looks like the brotherly love is going to go to Blake in this particular one. That's a better corner as he sees. Opens it up now for the checkered flag. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Blake Ramsey in destiny takes out heat 2C. Here comes his brother Tate Ramsey in the right on. Across the line into second position. He will not be happy with that. And across the line now into third is a Ravage with Brett Ramsey behind the wheel. Wow, what a race.
Well, and the Lay It On team, I bet you they're looking at the point score and trying to just manage that points gap. I don't think that Tate is, he doesn't have to do anything stupid to go on with this today. So maybe just taking a little bit of a conservative approach to the National Drivers' Championship to make sure he stitches it up for 2025. To Jay-Z of Brett Ramsey on the outside, a white flag down and away we go racing right. Tate Ramsey sticks it up on the right hand side. Kicks in a 470 on board Tate Ramsey and a 480 on board with Blake Ramsey as they come out of the corner, and Blake's all out of the water and so is Tate. The only one he has 50 metres over his brother, who goes very, very wide, comes right around the outside. Let's see what type of an exit they get out of turn number 2 to the first side. Then we go back to Brett Ramsey in the straight 6 little Toyota Lexus motor. Blake doing a great job at the moment, extending that lead, and Tate Ramsey just happy for second place at the moment.
And Bloke Ramsey now still leading away quite nice. Oh, he's gone loose, he's gone wide. He's missed the corner slightly, he's missed the apex altogether. This might leave the door open slightly, but he's got the power back down, settles it. Well up to go, yellow flag is out. Tate Ramsey in second place. Not usually in this position. Ravage is showing a good set of speed as well with Brett Ramsey behind the wheel, but it's up the back straight now. It is Blake Ramsey in destiny, leading away with half a lap to go. Right on Tate Ramsey's chasing him down, but it looks like the brotherly love is going to go to Blake in this particular one. That's a better corner as he sees. Opens it up now for the checkered flag. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Blake Ramsey in destiny takes out heat 2C. Here comes his brother Tate Ramsey in the right on, across the line into second position. He will not be happy with that. And across the line now into third is a Ravage with Brett Ramsey behind the wheel. Wow, what a race.
So while we've got a moment, PC, might have a quick chat about safety and acknowledgements that I need to go through with this one. Big thank you to the medical and emergency response guys. That's Medics, Medical and Retrieval Services. These guys are a dedicated medical provider to the event. Medics provides advanced pre-hospital care through an experienced team of doctors, paramedics and nurses who specialise in motorsport and remote area medicine. Their fully equipped response vehicles and on-site medical centre are capable of managing everything from minor injuries to complex trauma, ensuring immediate treatment and rapid transport if required. Our on-water safety and rescue operations, the safety framework is supported by the FWSR Group and, of course, Firewatch Safety Results, who maintain all the fire safety equipment across the event. Complementing this are the volunteer rescue boats and crews and diver teams stationed strategically across the course to provide instant response during incidents. Every rescue craft is manned by trained personnel and equipped with flotation gear, radios and recovery tools. Our officials and volunteers, a massive thank you to the MRSBC officials, referee team, pit marshals, timing crew, course setters, and of course dozens and dozens of volunteers who've travelled from across Victoria and interstate to make the event possible. Their professionalism and commitment uphold APBA safety standards and ensure a smooth running of each of the races. And our compliance and coordination is conducted under the Australian Powerboat Association's, the APBA racing rules, and in collaboration with Transport for New South Wales Maritime. Multiple safety briefings, driver inductions and risk assessments have been undertaken to meet regulatory and insurance requirements. To every member of the medical, safety and volunteer teams, your contribution is invaluable and deeply appreciated by not only the and the community.
And hopefully not needed this weekend, John.
Oh, that's right. But look, the old story, right? We don't wish anybody to have anything unforeseen to happen, but if it does occur, you are in awesome hands with all of these people. And I must say that, looking at what's been set up on the course here, albeit it may appear to be a small course compared to some other events, the level of professionalism put into making sure that everything's covered, and I mean every box is ticked, is there in front of us. So well done to each and every one of you.
Wind has slightly changed direction now, coming from the west on the left-hand side as you look towards the mighty Murray. You can smell that methanol. Can't beat methanol at lunchtime. It's a beautiful smell.
It is the best. There's nothing... Of course, we just saw Dennis Pasala, we're always pumping. They just changed over an air bottle. That's highly unusual. So he must have sucked in a bit and said, oh, there's not enough in this one. We better change that over. So just for anybody that may not realise, that the drivers in the enclosed capsules all run with air masks. The air masks are designed to be either on the whole time or alternatively they will turn on if you're actually immersed upside down.
Yep.
It's a compulsory thing to have onboard air with you at all times. The air masks are very similar to a fighter pilot. They just clip onto your helmet and push up, and they have communications going through them as well, so back to bank. So very good safety equipment, and every year each driver has to undertake a cell test, and the cell test is conducted at a local pool inside a APBA cell. And the idea is that you get orientated and how to eject yourself from the cell in a controlled environment, which will help you if ever you need it in real life.
Yeah, right.
Better to have a practice run under the belt and keep that regularly up to date, so that in the unfortunate case that you do go upside down and go for a swim, you're confident in not only your equipment but your ability to be able to undo the belts, open the hatch, be able to get out, know your boat when you can't see things, because obviously it's not crystal clear water out there. It's very muddy, and it certainly obscures where you're looking. As our driver's coming back already, and it looks like it might be Mickey J on pole position here. Brett Shepherd out there as well, making a return to powerboat racing and the National Drivers' Championship. So this one is going to be pretty wide open, I think, between Brett Shepherd, who unfortunately came to a stop in the first one, and Mikey J out of Yarrawonga. White flag is down, and we are racing here at Mildura Speedway, and it looks like that Mikey J hard up against the pins. He should be able to come out in first place here and make Shepherd and Pasala run around the outside. Just about contact there for Dennis Pasala, and that's allowed Mikey J and Brett Shepherd to skip away. 2, drives it hard, right on the cab plate. Mickey J doing a great job on the way out of turn number 2, gets the bow right up in the air now, and there for the second time, Mikey J and Brett Shepherd head-to-head here on the mighty Murray River. Is this Brett Shepherd's chance to drive away? He got the better exit out of turn number 2. Run and the left, Mikey J
Shepherd up now, second couple of 8 lengths lead now over Michael Johnson in the addicted machine. As Brett Shepherd will see the yellow flag, 1 lap to go. He points it towards the back, trying to get a really good drive out of the corner. With Dennis Masala in always pumping in third position. But Brett Shepherd again, ladies and gentlemen, he's pulled up.
2 for 2 for Brett Shepherd. Unfortunately, the boat has slowed, and that's allowed the young guy from Yarrawonga making his return to the National Championship. 25, a brand new deal on the back of this boat. And the young guy from Yarrawonga is going to take another win in a heat race for the National Drivers' Championship. Put your hands together for Mickey J. And that's going to leave a lonely run in second place for Dennis Pasala. Although, as we keep talking about it, guys, consistency and picking up those points is paramount to a successful finish in the championship as Dennis gets the boat right out of the water on acceleration out of turn number 2. And he'll come across the line, and unfortunately there for Brett Shepherd, that's 2 from 2, guys, and that's very unusual from this highly experienced driver.
Spot on. And I suppose that also opened up the points for Pasala to go through and pick up as well.
Yep, certainly. He'll be picking up points. I think he's had 2 seconds or a second and a third. So, yeah, good points for Dennis Pasala, although he's obviously having some difficulties with that boat. Oh, gee, I really feel for the guys from the Shepherd Racing Team and Unleashed. They have worked so hard to get here and obviously came second yesterday in our hot lap session after an 18-month hiatus from powerboat racing. And hopefully the guys can turn this boat around and get a good result for tomorrow in the finals. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got the hatch up. Give him a big round of applause. The young guy from Yarrawonga in Mikey Johnson.
Sensational drive. Very clean, tidy, and made it look, well, not effortless, that's for sure, because it certainly had its moments, but a good driver steers through that, so well done.
Return to powerboat racing and the National Drivers' Championship. So this one is going to be pretty wide open, I think, between Brett Shepherd, who unfortunately came to a stop in the first one, and Mikey J out of Yarrawonga. White flag is down, and we are racing here at Mildura Ski Club, and it looks like the but Mikey J hard up against the pins. He should be able to come out in first place here and make Shepherd and Pasala run around the outside. Just about contact there for Dennis Pasala, and that's allowed Mikey J and Brett Shepherd to skip away. Look at the horsepower of Shepherd. Drives it into turn number 2. Drives it hard, right on the cab plate. Mickey J doing a great job on the way out of turn number 2. Gets the bow right up in the air now, and there comes Shepherd. For the second time, Mikey J and Brett Shepherd head-to-head here on the mighty Murray River. Is this Brett Shepherd's chance to drive away? He got the better exit out of turn number 2. Run and the left, Mikey J behind.
Shepherd up now, second couple of 8 lengths lead now over Michael Johnson in the addicted machine. As Brett Shepherd will see the yellow flag, 1 lap to go. He points it towards the back, trying to get a really good drive out of the corner. With Dennis Masala in always pumping in third position. But Brett Shepherd again, ladies and gentlemen, he's pulled up.
2 for 2 for Brett Shepherd. Unfortunately, the boat has slowed, and that's allowed the young guy from Yarrawonga making his return to the National Championship. 25, a brand new deal on the back of this boat. And the young guy from Yarrawonga is going to take another win in a heat race for the National Drivers' Championship. Put your hands together for Lucky James. And that's going to leave a lonely run in second place for Dennis Pasala. Although, as we keep talking about it, guys, consistency and picking up those points is paramount to a successful finish in the championship as Dennis gets the boat right out of the water on acceleration out of turn number 2. But he'll come across the line, and unfortunately there for Brett Shepherd, that's 2 from 2, guys, and that's very unusual from this highly experienced driver.
Spot on. And I suppose that also opened up the points for shift and push. So totally different strategy altogether, but certainly it works, and a sight to behold, that's for sure.
Well, these are called unlimited outboards for a reason, and that is that little black thing that hangs off the back. You can go to town on it.
Yeah,
you
correct.
can change the internals, you can change the ECU, change what fuel. They come out from the factory driving unleaded fuel. I don't think all of these guys will be running unleaded fuel. They'll have some racing fuel, probably around 100, 102 octane fuel on board. There was a product called Power Plus that I used to run in my historic touring car that is equivalent. It's because we're not allowed to run avgas anymore.
Yeah.
Avgas has been banned by the Australian government for use on the roads. You can still use it in a light aeroplane and spray all of that pollution all over everybody from a height, but we're not allowed to do it on the road. It's a ridiculous rule.
And it used to be a common staple, right?
Oh,
so certainly not now.
All engines from that pre-1965 that I used to race my Cortina in, they were designed and built around the use of 100 leaded octane or fuel, and that's where the avgas was so good.
Yeah,
it
correct.
Looked after
Great
the
replacement
cylinder
for
heads.
it.
Yeah, so now we've got to go to Power Plus at $12 a litre.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah, compared to $4 or $5 a litre with avgas. So, yeah, there's the advances in all this environmental protection, and you're allowed to get rained on by the fumes of avgas, but you're just not allowed to start it up on the surface.
And the other thing I suppose to keep in mind too with this class as well is that there's a big push towards outboards now being banned as far as 2 strokes are concerned. Yep. All the manufacturers now pushing towards the 4-stroke varieties. So
and before you know it, we'll all be electric.
Absolutely. Well, let's see.
I could just imagine PC running his little hydro there with an electric motor in the back of it.
Yeah, mate.
No, that's not going to happen.
Oddly enough, it's Toyota that went to the extremes with electric vehicles. A big push from Toyota now for moving into hydrogen. So
hydrogen, yeah.
Well, I've got 2 beautiful Toyotas from Melton Toyota, of course. And, they're both hybrids. I can give a little update that Brett Shepherd did not have a blower belt attached to the engine when he came in, so
there you go.
That's one of the reasons why it came to a stop. But
I saw him go straight to the back, and I was hoping it was going to be something minor like that. Although you say that a blower belt's worth $500, so
yeah.
Yes, and often the reason why blower belt breaks is because something has made it. Yeah, so
correct.
But anyway, we wish them luck because that was a sensational run. Very disappointing. But yeah, just had a quick look as it was coming up the ramp, and definitely was missing a part that makes it go, the blower belt.
It's a lucky you're like if it's let go and it hasn't taken out anything, because I know that there's an oil drive that sits underneath there and it's in contact with that blower belt should it dislodge. And of course it's dislodging at 8,000 RPM.
Yeah, it's not a good
going to
look.
make a mess slapping around in the back of the boat.
Yeah, it's happened to me before where I've lost the blower belt, and it's unfortunately taken out half the oil system attached to the side of it, and all the electrics happened to us at Yarrawonga in the 2010 UIM World Championship. So here we go.
There we go, a little bit of tunnel boat racing for the first time this week at the Sunraysia Spectacular. And it's the white boat. That will be Ryan Stunnell on the inside, but here goes Jared Smith. He will be in the next postcode before you know it, folks. And rounding out the field, another guy from Adelaide, Jared's brother Adam. And you can see, Ryan Stunnell, he stuck his nose in there and got right up alongside Jared. But now the power of Too Impulsive and Jared Smith, the Commodore of the Adelaide Speedboat Club, stretches his legs down the back straight into turn number 2. And you can see the cornering properties of these boats. Sensational, 4 Gs around the corner. What happened there? Jared Smith seemed to bury one of the front sponsons under the water there, and has started to turn right. So counteracting the tendency for the boat to pull to the left, and Jared's gone right. So maybe just an issue there with a bit of trim. Now he gets it settled up, starts to move around on the top of the hull there as they go over the wake from the previous lap. It's Ryan Stunnell in second and Adam Smith rounding out the field on third place.
Too impulsive coming down the front straight away. A lot tighter this time than the last time through for Jared Smith in the Too Impulsive. Simmons and Clark coming through into second position, and Adams test and tag into third as they'll see the yellow flag. It's the last lap up the back straight. The Too Impressive has been impulsive, so he's been pretty impressive with Jared Smith behind the wheel. Heading up there now, leading away from Simmons and Clark in the second position, and Adams test and tag rounding out third position.
He's done one club day in this new boat to the Jared Smith Racing family team, and it looks like he's going to take the checkered flag on the first proper race in anger here at the Mildura Ski Club. Ryan Stunnell across the line in the 91 for Simons and Clark Logistics out of Adelaide, and Adam Smith for Adams test and tag. He will take home third place, and that just shows you the development in the engines. Jared's engine is light years in front of his brother's Adams, and you can see he's won that by a good 200 metres. And look, Ryan Stunnell's not too far off Jared's pace.
Yeah, correct. Great to see the tunnel racing, though, that the guys, as you explained earlier, got it up nice and high and kept it out of the water and kept everything pretty sane and in line. So
well, look, Jared, now we are racing, and it looks like decision on the inside. Actually, it's fairly even all the way across the board now. Decision starts to go back to Royce McIntyre, about 10 metres behind the back of Les Smith. Can Les get through turn number one okay and keep the boat in the water? And yes, he does. It takes off like a bullet out of turn number one. But Brent Lewis, he's going to have 100 metres on him by the time they get around here to the start-finish line. Big spray coming off the front of the image hull as he opens up the throttle. The 429 50 motor starts to try and work its way down the main straight. Second place, and then we go back to Royce McIntyre.
On the back right away now, the decision, leading away quite comfortably from Les Smith and the Mad Dog, and the Mayhem. Royce McIntyre is heading down out the back straight into third position, but out in front it is Brent Lewis in the decision. He is coming down now. He'll see the yellow flag with one lap to go. He's doing quite nicely out in front, controlling the pace of the race. That is Les Smith in the Mad Dog, all the way from Western Australia, very nicely in the second position. With number 3 is the Mayhem as he's coming down, and he'll see the yellow flag. But up the back straight now, Brent Lewis.
Yes, it's Brent Lewis. Take out a win here in the Heat 2A of the National Drivers' Championship, brought to you by Battery World. Comes out of turn number 2, opens up the throttle, sees the checkered flag and takes a win after top qualifying yesterday and being disqualified. That's a great way to fight back. 2 from 2. Wes Smith will take out second place, and then we go back to the family-run team of Royce McIntyre. And having a few issues with the boat earlier on, but now it looks a lot more settled, and as I say, let us start to bounce around. Getting the swell and the weights off the 2 previous boats with Mad Dog and Decision. Well, that's the way they're going to finish. No damage to any of those boats, so they'll be lining up again tomorrow for 3 forced induction boats for Heat 2B, making their way, and they are just about at the circuit proper. We are about to go racing here, the Battery World National Drivers' Championship. White flag is down, and away we go. Connor Patterson on pole. Makes it roar down towards the outside of turn number 1. They're 3 wide onto the entry there. Looks like Patterson and Nidri. Nidri's got the best of turn number 1, but look out. Here comes the little boat that can turn it up. 300 side by side with a big block Chev by the engine whisperer in Brett Nidri. Nidri's moved back about 3 or 4 boat lengths now as they come out of turn number 1. Both boats fairly settled. They apply the throttle and come over the top. From Nidri and Cleaver.
Up the back straight now. It is Connor Bannister just opening up a very, very small gap now to Brett Nidri in the BMR engines. Up the back straight they go now. Connor Bannister was under plenty of pressure. Brett Nidri's looking very, very strong now. He's in